Welcome back to the War for Dream of Electric Sheep. I'm Darren, IDM.
Darren, do they?
I mean, canonically, no, so there's that question answered. But hey, when have I ever fucking listened to canon? These lovely people from Left to Right.
You are the canon.
Oh my
And
god.
I'm
Your rules,
Amy.
your rules.
That's the canon. I'm Amy. I play Isadora.
I'm Ian and that bears, but
I'm Esme and I play men for their money.
Literally made no money, but continue.
I'm Laura, I play Coda. You're such a hard person to follow, Neil. It sucks. You always like make these zesty one-liners.
Yeah,
so I
he's a
can't
pretty
follow
terrible
it.
fucking leader when you put it like that. If you know it. When we last met our hero, we were walking with some giants. Well, a giant. A giant and her friendly, deep gnome companion. They are the friendliest of people. They are well renowned for stalling while Darren opens the NPC list, so I can remember their names.
Blurgan?
I was like, it's definitely ridiculous.
Or
Blurgan, who I have written down as a big Sinead O'Connor.
and then Luke Mutton.
Luke Martin, the deep gnome, and Blurgan, the stone giant Dreamwalker, who is a giant Sinead O'Connor. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. So yeah, you guys defeated an exiled stone giant who was rather ravenous, kind of feral, a bit less talky, more smashy. I believe it was Esme who got the killing blow. Stood on its head and booped it. It was pretty cool. Into the ear, I believe, wasn't it? Yeah, with the rapier. Very cool stuff. But yeah, you guys are being taken to this clan of stone giants leader. So you descend. Well, you're following Blurgan on her as essentially it just looks like almost conveniently in a odd way shaped a tunnel for you guys to continue descending. It's not a staircase, it's just a gentle incline, and it's almost like the hill, the mountain, the rock itself kind of like is opening itself for you to like trespass easily. Blurgan turns and is just like, so which one of you will do the talking to our king?
I can. Yeah, I'll do it. I can.
She nods. Like our court rule indicates, each party must have like a spokesperson.
Okay, is everyone good with that? And she looks particularly at Esme.
Oh, Luke Martin is like, oh, and like floats as he eats popcorn.
Esme just coughs and says, well, yes, of course. What problem would I have?
No, I just mean if only one of us can speak, then no one else can we can still communicate. And she taps the ring, but you can't say if you have something to say. Let me know and I'll say it for you. But don't just blurt something out.
No, girl, you do you. I'm happy to listen to what you have to say. You lead us through this one.
Okay. Oh wait. Oh no, it's too much responsibility.
In her ring, she says, Commander.
Anyone have any questions for Blurgan as we walk, or is it a comfortable but totally actually not comfortable silence?
What can we?
Why are you so tall?
My God, you can't just ask giants why they're tall.
I was about to say that.
What can we expect going down here? When was the eye thing stolen?
Oh, the eye was taken several months ago, and what you can expect is probably a lot of commotion, given that we do not let what we refer to as dreamwalkers or dreamkin into our humble abode quite easily. So there might be some backlash to that, but we should be fine.
Do you have any idea who might have taken it?
No, the description was a hooded figure, quite like the build and size of like your kind, that she kind of like gestures to all of you, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it floated behind them like it weighed nothing.
Okay.
Oh yes, apologies, Ian. I forgot. You don't know why we're walking and talking to giants.
that's cool.
Esme does ask, like, hey, so are we still outside Orion? And is it still the right, like, is it the right time? I have a weird feeling that we're not outside Orion anymore, and we are also, I feel like we might be in the past.
What?
Am I saying this into the ringer out loud?
Oh no, she says this out loud. Like, I feel like we're not in the current age.
Why?
Well, it's just like, are you sure it was 6 months ago that this eye got stolen?
Several months ago, yes.
Or whatever,
Not
yeah.
sure the exact number, yeah, but several months.
It's just like, we're walking through fog, gonna meet giants, just outside a city. And the mechanists have only just arrived, or the maiden, they're only like, they're like new-ish. I just feel like we've stepped back in time.
The mages and mechanists haven't arrived. They're just like, the unification thing hasn't happened. It seems their presence here isn't exactly, not, I suppose, cared for, but like, they're, like, you don't see the hand banners, you don't see mechanist towers, you don't see mechanist, like, enthusiasts crying on the corners about how amazing technology is. It's just very much like, kind of like guilds in their respective corners of the city. Like, we like engineering and tinkering, we'll be over here. We like arcane arts and scholarly things, we'll be over here, that sort of thing. You take your toys, we'll take ours, that sort of thing.
Like, I will say, out of character, isn't that like really weird considering how close Orion is to like the city?
I would have thought so, and also considering how like they're talking about the hand expanding to other cities, like it seems weird that like the mechanists and mages aren't even a thing here, let alone unification. It seems weird out of character, but I don't know.
Hey, Blurgan.
Yes, small elf lady.
Did you see the giant airship blow up the dragon?
Not personally, but I saw a bright flash in the sky and the ground quaked.
Okay, that was a giant airship blowing up a dragon, but that happened like recently.
Yeah, yes. It
Okay,
did.
cool. No, that's just answered that we are definitely in and around the right time.
I worry for you, Esme.
Hey, listen, one time Dave literally came back from the future. Am I wrong? Am I
Sure,
racist?
next thing you're gonna say there's aliens.
Oh my god, Lurgan, have you been visited by mind flayers?
I don't know what that is.
They're these weird octopus people that seek out wielders of a famous sword, one of which was a tiny child that I loved as though they were my own. And now he's fallen in love with a strange blue creature who is also a child, and I don't actually know where they are, so I'm a bad mother.
She looks at you and she's just like, wow, that's quite the resume.
Oh my god, her resume. No. Yeah. Esme's just like, I think you thought you were the highest person here, but you're not. It's me. Okay, Isadora, you're in charge. Isadora, we have to be polite. We can't like race card anyone on this one. We have to be polite. And you're in charge.
You were the last person who gets to talk to other people about being polite, but okay.
Man, have you met you?
I learned from the best.
Oh, thanks, Amy.
I never actively took up cause against anyone who owns a loot.
Anyway, as we proceed down the hallway of absolute unnecessary waffle, we see tapestries, evil and shitty things. Everyone has done.
I ain't done no evil things.
That is true.
Oh, my sweet summer child.
I know.
You are not ready for the storm that awaits you.
You're about to kill an entire colony of giants single-handedly,
just we wait and we will see. Moving on. Sounds like Taran. Aha! Classic Esme. So I'll help. No, you won't. Right. So as we proceed forward, the tunnel seems to kind of like come into a more open area, almost like maybe a natural forming, as much as it sounds odd. Entrance hall, like stalagmites and stalactites. I can't remember the name of the one where they're joined, like a natural pillar. I don't know. I'm not a geographer guy, dude. I failed it in school. Actually, wait, no, that's false. I got really high in the answer. But yeah, that thing, a natural pillar. Several of them dot the room, and as you guys step forward, Blurgan's kind of speeds up a smidge, and Luke Martin is like, "Okay, we're at the entrance. Let's just." They're probably going to give out an idea. You should probably, be chill. Oh, wait, that's false. He's kind of German. Well, I'm going to stop eating my food in a few minutes and do the German accent probably, but I'm going to continue chewing. So, yes. Before you is a large...
Sorry, as we're walking, I'll ask Luke Button, have you been down here before? How many of them are there? What's their leader like? That kind of thing.
Yeah, the leader is... He's not very talkative. He has a steward who talks in his place. He's what they deem crestfallen. He's hasn't moved from his throne as I believe is a self-inflicted punishment from losing the eye. He blames himself. It's awful stuff. I've been here several times. I've passed through. They go a bit easy on me because I come from, as they say, the mountain mother, and he air quotes says this. I am from, I'm not from the above world, so they although I don't rank anywhere on the giant hierarchy, I'm still get some leeway as I am, not from above. And as he says that, you can see Blurgan is arguing with some it looks like a sentry of some kind of a guard, is kind of they're yelling back and forth at what you can only assume is giant. And the sentry doesn't look impressed. They're kind of looking at her oh, what are you doing? What was it? And every so often he's glancing to the party. And she waves her hand, and she's kind of trying to shush him almost. And you see this individual just kind of put up a hand and he stops talking and just walks through the doors that you most likely will be led through if this all goes well. Blurgan returns to the party. And she's so, well, it went as well as I thought. I told them we want to speak to our chieftain. That did not go down well. So they have gone to get his steward, and they will decide what to do with you. So we have a couple of minutes. My advice is realize that they're going to be rude. You're beneath the giant hierarchy, ergo you're beneath them in a sense almost. They'll probably yell a lot. The steward and myself and a few other dreamwalkers and a few other individuals are the only ones that can speak common. I believe our chieftain does, but I've never actually personally witnessed him speak it. But yeah, tensions are high. There's kind of an inter-clan argument going on at the moment, so yeah, tension. To do
with the stone?
And she nods and she's oh yes, what to do with regarding the stone. Some wish to stay here and hope it returns. Others wish to march upon the city of Orion. I believe you refer to this.
Okay, well, let's make sure that doesn't happen.
She nods and she's yeah, no, 100%. And she kind of leans back on her staff kind of thing and just kind of oh boy, kind of gather herself. And Luke Mott is kind of doing breathing exercises. Oh, I don't like this part. A few minutes go by. Because to that uncomfortable answer, the other guard is kind of eyeing Hardy. And it's oh god, been 2 minutes. It's an eternity. But the doors swing open and a brash, kind of fast-paced walking giant. Although it seems fast-paced, but they clear quite a large distance when they walk, and kind of dressed in these kind of ragged robe, really thick cloth, bits of natural minerals, chunks of iron ore and maybe copper and tin and all these kind of natural forming chunks of rock dangle from their robes and stuff. And he, again, has no hair, just skin looks rough. There's bits of stone. It seems to be, you can't make out if it's chunks of rock, that have been attached to the body somehow, like with some paste, because the paste kind of looks a bit darker than the skin, but it's kind of all over the body, so you're not too sure, or if it's just growing out of the stone giant itself. It's very much like a muddledness, but he seems to have a cluster of stones near the top of his head that, not quite like a crown, but like you notice that when he enters the room, the others kind of like, come to attention. Even Blurgan kind of stands upright, not outright like saluting or anything, but clearly like acknowledging the presence of this individual. But maybe these stones that they wear near the top of their head indicate rank or authority or some level of inter-clan hierarchy. It's not entirely sure, because pretty sure no one here is read up on like stone giants specifically or anything like that. But this individual takes several steps and is before the party, and he's like, "Speak."
Sonora will like curtsy, I guess. She's really not sure what the etiquette is here, but she's going to say, "We come from the town below. We want to end the disagreement. We want to end the trouble on both sides here. We want to return what was taken from you. If you'll give us the chance, if you'll stave off your attacks and give us the chance to return it to you, we will do whatever we can to do so."
Do you know where the eye resides?
We can find it.
Can I have a persuasion check, Amy?
Yeah.
This tall, towering individual doesn't say much to this. He can't, like, when he says, like, "We can find it." He looks at Izzy, looks at the party, looks Risbeth up and down peculiarly, as if like, "What's that? What's happening over there?"
Risbeth waves.
He was like, "Yeah." No, he doesn't flinch. He looks at again, kind of lingers on Risbeth. Probably like tieflings and goblins aren't particularly.
Yeah.
Goblins maybe. I don't know. It's a case of like, oh, they look like gnome. Wait, Ian, sorry. What color skin is Risbeth? Is he kind of grayish or is he greenish?
Grayish.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, then he'd be certainly like, well, they look like Luton's race, but they're pointier ears. Weird. He looks at the guard and like barks some sentence, and again, you assume to be giant. As he says this, like you see Blurgan kind of lean forward, kind of like her mouth kind of opens a smidge, kind of in not in disbelief, but kind of like, what the fuck? And Luke Motton's kind of like, ooh, kind of like covers his mouth sort of thing. The guard that this individual like barked this order at just looks at the big nods and enters the area where he came from.
What's going on? What does he say?
Luke Martin is like, "Oh, it's you must prove yourself in battle to make yourself worthy of being near the chieftain."
Who has to prove you like the champion, or what do we do?
I think you must defeat their champion in battle. All of you, I assume, maybe. I'm not too sure. And Luke Martin says the other guard barks something at Bergen, and she's like, "Oh," she kind of like gestures to you guys to like, walk forward, and this robed individual kind of like turns on their heel and starts walking away. Like, essentially, it's like, follow them.
All right.
You guys are led through this area. You're kind of coming to like a vast open cavern. The walls are covered in tapestries, painted and chipped away and carved and painted, and like relief paintings almost. Like they carve and then they paint over it, depicting all manner of things. You can see giants, like fighting what looks like dragons of all shapes and sizes. They're fighting them. They seem to like they don't have saddles on them, but like there's even depictions of them like riding the dragons, like besting them, like whole like giant champions possibly, like stand above all others and are holding like head of like both hands like this massive red dragon, and other ones depict like giants happily throwing boulders in what looks to be like sort of like a game of sport. And there's, as you like are essentially brought through, like this place is like lit with like these kind of like just like nice torches. They kind of have like a weird like they have like an orangey white glow like a traditional torch, but they kind kind of have this weird, almost artificial glow to them. And I believe we've encountered them before. But like, people might be like, "Are they their everlasting torches?" Probably. And they're like kind of like aiming towards the tapestries and the, reliefs and the sculptures and like kind of like the art. And this entire place is like dotted with them. And there's seem to be like depictions of like, the mountain, and giants coming forth and like prospering and like hills and greenlands and like these open plains. And you're not entirely sure. Like the style is kind of like really like hard right angles and really like thick lines, like not a lot of detail. Like noses are just kind of like L shapes, like that sort of thing. But you kind of get the feel that it's probably Erythor, like Erythor outside. And it seems to depict the giants leaving the mountain and being in Erythor. But when the thing that might you as odd, well, like kind of like it's just interesting. It's like, oh, that looks weird. Is that when they're outside, the giants have been painted in like weird random colors. It's like they changed every few strokes, sort of thing. And the depictions under the mount is everything is solidified. Everything is very like, this is a stone giant. This is all like shades of grey and bluish and stone-like qualities and moss and such. It's only when they go like topside in quotations does it kind of get a bit more like kind of impressionistic almost. But yeah, you see that they prosper, and like it's a case of as you walk through this massive cavern. As you walk through this gargantuan cavern, like going forward, like you see other tunnels sprawling off into distance. Like you just see entranceways that lead to darkened tunnels. Even with dark, they just go too far to notice what the heck is down there. But like it's kind of like an entrance hall. It's like a proper big entrance hall, and it seems to almost be depicting this clan's history, perhaps. There is giants. They're outside. They're in the outside world, and you see the like last tapestry as you're kind of brought to the I keep saying tapestry, like the last painting, wall painting, so to speak, in this tapestry as well. Is the sky has a flash and there's like 5 lights, and after that there's like kind of like bright burning lights everywhere, and there's like these grey, like again it's kind of like almost stick men kind of hastily brushing like just kind of these grey like individuals, really small. And the next depictions are of the giants returning to this like mountain thing.
Okay.
Yeah, as you guys go forward, you see like this cavern gets even like twice as open, twice as wide, twice as high. Actually, probably even more. It kind of like sprawls out. You can see like what opens to be like almost like a massive chunk of this mountain and you can see like what looks sprawling town. Not city size or anything. Maybe like a village, perhaps. Maybe a little bit bigger, but enough to like fit a chunk of. It's big enough for a town or a village for giants. So it would have, God knows how many standard units. Oh, sorry. But you see like a crowd is piling around what looks like kind of like a little ring area, like you can't like it certainly seems lower, like a platform was lower down, and like they're kind of all looking, and there's like bits of earring and stuff. But yeah, this robed figure turns after like kind of bringing you to like the start of this massive giant congregation, and like these people are dressed differently. Some are like in like essentially loincloths, others are in kind of robes, others are like what looks like kind of armor, but it looks like they're wearing bits of like the walls that's just chipped down a bit to like make slates, and it's like just long struts of stone, it seems, that they're just like strapped to their bodies, that sort of thing. Again, all have varying degrees of like stone and like natural elements stuck to their bodies and such. Yes, so the road figure turns and says, "My name is Deuce. If your clan can prove their worth in the ring, you may talk to our chieftain."
Thank you for the opportunity.
Excuse me, sorry, terribly. Sorry to interrupt. Is this to the to the death, or is this a friendly sparring match? How does this work?
You will enter. Your representatives from your clan, as in all of you, will enter. Representatives will enter. Only one will walk out.
Wonderful. Thank you for clarifying. Thank you.
Any last things to ask, friendos? Or any comments people want to pass, anything at all?
How
I'm
many?
good to go.
How many like people are watching this? Would you say?
Maybe 20 or 30. Because again, they're quite bulky individuals.
And would we get the impression that this is just a select few, or is this like all of them?
Oh yeah, this you get the vibe that there's a hell of a lot. Like it's a case of you guys have been brought to the right of this gargantuan open, like the depiction of like say Mines of Moria, in order kind of like you can't see the end of the cavern in any direction, sort of thing. With not pillars forming more than like carved out place ones, and you guys have been led off to the far right and to the far left. Seem to be like what looked like the beginning of buildings and housing and such.
Okay.
But yeah, as you guys are led forward, you feel like this gargantuan blade come down behind you guys. Essentially, it looks like the end of like perhaps a giant glaive, quite literally like a giant's glaive, but it is quite literally a giant. And you guys like he bars basically separates you guys from Blurgan and Lawton, and what seems to be like a mere moving of the wrist, like a little tap forward. For him, it sends you guys flying forward. And it's a case of fly forward onto your feet and like run down this wooden platform yourself. And there is basically it's a gigantic circle. It quite literally looks like a massive wrestling ring, but it's kind of circular and more so than square. There is no sides. This seems to be a standing section, or a platform itself. There is no like edge. There's no wall. You could easily fall to your death. You can't see the edge or anything. And you see all of them are like kind of roaring and saying stuff, and like, oh yeah, you're not entirely sure what they could be, but you kind of part ways and let go for a crowd, and essentially two big giants come walking out, like decked up in like war paint and stuff.
What sort of weapons are they carrying?
One is carrying the amazingly overpowered will of their fists, and the other is carrying what looks like just a grape of some kind.
Okay.
So 1 second, friendos, and I will get this board set up. Can I have initiative?
Hiya.
I would not have done well tanking against two giants.
It's worth noting that one that seems to be using fists more so than the weapon looks rather skinny and not as burly as the other. The other one looks traditionally just like an iron giant, like a stone giant.
I mean, a giant's a giant, man.
It could be a giant woman. You don't know that.
A giant folk. Pretty much everybody has. Everybody looks kind of roughly the same here. Right, where we are is Coda is up first.
Did we rest after the last giant fight?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Did we not get a rest while we were waiting for show? Yeah.
Huh? We got a short rest.
Yes, a short rest.
Okay, that is acceptable. Oh god, I should have rolled some hit dice. That was my mistake. Okay. So I have my grip points back. Okay, which one's the one with the fists?
Oh, sorry, my apologies. That's my fault. The one with the little orange dot. Hopefully, it shows up for you guys. Is the fist
Okay.
wielding individual.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take 2 shots, 2 grit points for advantage, sharpshooter.
Yeah, rock and roll, buddy. Give me them rolls. Uh, 23 hits, 11 sadly swings wide.
Okay, so 17 damage, and I'm gonna bonus action second wind, because I'm not doing great on health.
Cool. Yeah, Coda's gun, lets off 2 shots, and the crowd is kind of like, ooh, this could be interesting, and holy fuck, what was that?
Yeah, I've given up all pretense of pretending I don't have a gun.
Yeah. I mean, did you ever really try?
Like the first
We're
2
not getting
sessions?
into that. Moving on. Up next is Isadora.
Shuffa. And then she's going to play a majestic anthem. So everyone, Uh,
Oh, sorry. I thought I was on low health. Turns out my max is just really low. I'm actually doing okay.
imagine.
I was thinking about like being a higher level. And I was like, no, I'm just this bad. It's fine.
Look, everyone gets 12 temporary HP anyway, so.
Nice. Is that all you're doing, Amy?
Yes.
Rock and roll. After that, it is dearest Esme.
Yeah, she is going to. Which one did Kauto attack?
This
Bottom
one over
one.
here, buddy. The bottom one with the. I'm not sure if the dots show up for you, if it's a
Yeah, I
DM
can see
thing. But... Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, the one with the little dots floating above his icon.
And that's the. Is that the scrawny one or the other one?
Yeah, that's the kind of scrawny monk-looking-ish one.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot the other guy.
Yeah, cool,
Just steps
buddy.
back a little. She's gonna bonus action insightful thing.
Rock and roll. Is deception on his part, correct? Or insight? What can't remember what's the roll?
It's my insight versus his deception.
Yeah, rock and roll. That is a 0. You succeed, obviously.
She's got bow mode going, and she's gonna take a shot at him.
Rock and roll.
She hits.
Sadly, the radiant arrow flies wide.
Cool. That's me done.
It's a case of like, giant oohs as this like boat flies off in the distance and illuminates some of the caverns, and you can see that like these tapestries seem to reach up to like wherever the ceiling is, how many like feet it is above you. These tapestries and carvings go all the way up there. You see flashes of color as this radiant bolt flies through the air. And that's all. Neil, yes?
Yeah, I'll run.
Yeah, this one's going to stand here and just swing a punch at dearest Risbet.
Ooh, they have reach.
They do indeed. A lot of reach, actually.
Because they're tall boys.
They're all worms.
26 and a 24, buddy.
They both hit.
You take a total of 20 bludgeoning damage, and could I have a strength save?
Ugh.
I just remembered. Ian, it doesn't matter what you roll, because this individual punches you with the intention of knocking you back, and your belt glows with the delicious magic that is planet Mars, or Mars herself. Who knows? And it's a case of like, oh no, you're fine, buddy. I just remembered it. And as he punches into you, you see, like essentially the dust goes flying past Risbet, but Risbet does not move. It's very anime.
Nice.
I think Goku's stopping any boss fight punch ever at the last minute of every episode. But yeah, that was fun. This one's going to step up. Aw, you can't reach dearest Isadora.
Oh no! What a shame.
Oh wow, it's unnerved. I'm assuming 14 Nintendo. Ian.
No,
It's unnerved by Risbet's pure badassery in the sense that it's like, well, this little thing should have moved, yet it does not. And with that, back to Code.
Is that me?
Cool.
Oh shit, sorry. Oh yeah. Apologize, Ian. You were correct. It is you.
Very cool. I was just making sure that.
Yeah, no, you're
something else
100% written in there, but I just like flicked off it real quick. And I was like, it's Code. Oh wait.
Has Isadora not gone either?
Ow!
Oh, sorry.
Gave everybody a temporary hit point.
Ah,
But
yes,
yeah, Ian, you're up.
I want to be between both of them. Just so the
Yes.
fight goes. It doesn't fit that way.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, it's because of the giant tokens. I should probably make giant tokens more squarey. But yes, you're within. They're both in your zone of control. If that's what you're intending to happen.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit the one. I'm gonna attack him twice.
Cool. Yeah, it's this one here. Give me them rolls.
26
Yeah,
and
both
20.
hit, buddy.
Cool. I'm gonna add 2 level 3 smites to this. 54 damage.
Nice. Yeah, no, this thing is like, it gets hit so hard with like swipe down of the two mauls. I'm gonna say actually no, I just remembered it's maul. Risbit's kind of like in between his legs, kind of like hits one kneecap, hits the other. You can hear crunching and cracking as like both knees kind of go out, kind of like if it was the fucking the Ringo, that kind of like completely disconnected, disjointed, kind of things like kind of like a bit unnerved by it. But yeah, no, that's solid. Is that all you were doing?
Yeah, that's
cool.
Done.
Awesome. Coda, you're up, buddy.
Cool. I'll shoot the one that Risbit just hit.
Yeet.
So one more grit point to make this one a violent shot.
Uh, 16 just hits.
Hits. Okay, I'll roll my second attack and then I'll do damage.
Yep, that hits as well.
So violent shot means I can add another damage die to the first one.
Cool.
I didn't roll that properly. So that's 22 damage. Or 21,
Ooh.
sorry, I can't count.
Not you're
Or
okay.
read. That's on the one Ian just
It's
hit.
all good. Wow, yeah, no, this thing is like, this individual is pretty much bleeding kind of thick, gloopy blood out of a lot of new orifices. Anything else you want to do? Cole?
Yeah. Just because I have better AC, and if it goes for AC, it's probably better to hit me.
That's cool. Alrighty. Awesome. Isadora, you're up, buddy.
Can this one make a wisdom save?
An 18.
I ain't never gonna make a wisdom save ever again in my life because every enemy can just do it, and that's all bard spells are. I give bardic inspiration to Coda.
Thanks.
Fair. And with that, we're back to dearest Esme.
He circles around up towards the north end and tries to take a shot at the man.
Cool. That hits.
You're going to use her bonus action to do her second attack?
Yep, that also hits. Jeez, nice.
Yep.
Ooh, nice.
And
which? Sorry,
big man.
Neil, which one are you shooting? The top or the bottom one?
Top one.
Top one. Rock and roll. Thank you very much. Cool. 1 sec. And with that, we are... Oh, this one's going to punch down on top of Dearest Risbit.
Kind of deserve it after I tried to punch his knees out.
I mean, you kind of successfully punched his knees out.
A 20 and a 13.
20 is a draw, so you win. 13 misses.
You take 10 bludgeoning damage. And can I have a dex save?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Risbit is like not knocked prone. He's a beast. Risbit is holding his own.
Standing there like, why is this small man not moving?
Yeah, and like literally, he's like, I tried punching forward, and now I tried punching downward on his head. What gives? Right, that's cool. This is going to strike. This one's going to move here. It's still in it. Yeah, your zone of control. Sorry.
Are we winning over the crowd?
Oh yeah, the crowd are like a lot of them are kind of like, oh, this is not going anyway, and then others are clearly like home city favorites kind of thing. They're like, oh my, what is this? It's rigged. Right, so this thing's going to make 2 attacks, one towards Coda and one towards Isidore.
Okay.
A 17 and a 27.
Attack wins.
Cool. You guys take a total of 19 bludgeoning damage each.
Okay.
rock and roll. And with that, it is Dearest Risbit's go.
So I'm going to attack the guy who tried to smack me down.
Yeah, and roll.
You're just gonna take care of this thing by yourself.
21 and 15.
A 15 misses, but a 21 strikes true.
Cool, I'm just going to... Hold on. 2 seconds. Can't remember how many spells I have.
Yeah, no, yeah, take your time, buddy, take your time.
Yeah, I'm just going to use a level 2 smite. Don't eat damage.
How does Risbit take down the giant?
Can we say that, like... I know I hit him once, but can we do, like, a technical double hit?
Yeah, hey, I'm all for the... No, yeah, no, this is, like, video game logic. It's like, if you kill it, you can do, like, you know, a takedown animation. In quotations.
Okay, yeah. So, like, he smacks the same knee again, completely knocking the giant's knee out. And then as the giant goes down to its knee, he just spins up and hits it in the head with his maul and just drops back to the ground and the other.
Nice. It kind of like tumbles back a bit in the sense that it's taking up a large portion of its lying down sort of thing. So, oh, boy, I've double clicked too many things. There we go. So kind of like basically from this from the edge of Risbit's coin to the edge of this thing's coin is like it's probably a hell of a lot longer actually. It's probably like that. But yeah, that area is kind of like difficult terrain if you decide to go there because there's a giant's corpse in the way.
Fair.
And with that, we are back to Coda.
I'm in this thing's melee range, right?
You are indeed in melee
Cool.
range.
I'll just do some rapier attacks.
Yeah, cool.
How's the crowd reacting to this now?
A lot of them are like, whoa! And like a few of the like, they seem younger, as young as giants can seem, I guess, are kind of like, oh, this is so cool. Like, oh, it's a case of like the individual identified themselves as Odysseus looks really unimpressed, like really.
Is that a steward or the guard?
That you could probably hazard a guess that individual is the steward.
Can you put his name in chat, please?
Yeah, one sec.
Thank you.
Do 23 and 17 hit?
Oh, sorry. Yes, both hit.
Cool. Well, if they both hit, it's 13.
Rock and roll. Yep, that's cool. You stab him in the knee. Yep, no worries, Amy. And he does not like that. Izzy, you're up.
Okay, we're gonna try this one more time. Make a wish safe.
Shit, sorry. My head. My 1 sec.
Your neck, your back.
Oh my god!
What was that, Amy? Real quick, what was that?
It was supposed to be dissonant whispers, but obviously that's not going to happen. So I'm just gonna shuffle back one.
Technically you cannot. You're in this thing's melee range.
And then forget it.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna stand there and do nothing.
Yeah, that's cool. No, it's just a case of like,
God.
yeah, Sazbud. And with that, we are to Dearest Esme.
How high are the walls surrounding us?
They are not walls. It is the edge of the platform.
Lovely
Alright.
noises.
Yeah, screw it. She's gonna just like run through his legs and just stab upwards with the light sword.
Cool. And now remember, it's a bonus action to switch that into the thingy. Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah. All right. So it's a case of like you're entering its zone of control to like kind of go somewhere else. Yeah.
She's basically just gonna run over to the other side.
Yeah, that's rock and roll. Cool. Make your attack, buddy.
$26.
Oh yeah. I see no roll on
Yeah, it
that.
hasn't come up on mine, but it's just roll 20 being weird.
No, that's yeah. Oh yeah,
There it is.
Yeah, 26 hits, bud. Remember, it is also within sneak attack range, so work that.
Cool.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, this he like is completely like as you're running under his legs, it's really confused. It's like teeny tiny bug. And Esme slices the back of its leg. Achilles heel or tendon kind of thing. But yeah, this thing is not looking too great, guys. It's bleeding out of like it's not like it's bleeding out of its heart or its head or anything, but like the piece that you guys have been stabbing like in its legs and stuff, taking its toll. There's a lot of blood coming out of it. She was aiming for that D. Cool. Well, I'm pretty sure. Well, probably wouldn't have hit it. That individual's dead, but this individual is not. So it's going to retaliate towards Esme. It's going to strike down on Bakoda in rage and kind of like, bang, bang, and kind of like swing down on top of Esme. So 13 versus Coda and 10 versus Esme.
Nope.
Yeah, it's almost like it kind of like frustration is throwing it off. You're up, bud.
Cool. I'm just gonna try and smack him twice.
Give me them rules. 26 hits. 16 misses. 26 hits.
Cool. I'm gonna add a level 2 smite to this as well.
Yeah, rock and roll, bud. Solid damage. Yeah, no, again, Rizbit goes into the back of this thing's leg, and you can hear a massive, like, bone and stone almost crunch crack as, like, you see a bit of its kneecap like, poke against its skin. It's kind of wanting to come, but it ain't all there. And with that, we're back to Coda.
Cool. 2 more rapier attacks.
Yeah, cool. 16
Same
savage
exact
doesn't.
rolls as Rizbit.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. 26 hits, though.
Copycat.
Only 10 damage.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, again, I'm going to say Coda capitalizes on the damage he sees, apologies. He sees Rizbit do and kind of like aims for that kneecap and kind of like stabbing towards the jutting out bone. It's not looking neat. Is that all?
Yeah.
Is it Dora?
Okay, let's very frost this hole.
Amy, are you cursed?
Guys, I'm gonna go to it, so I'm gonna head over. So naturally, that goes wide.
It does.
And I'm gonna give Bardic Inspiration to Esme.
Amy, what's happening?
What did we predict?
Are you
Sure.
okay?
No, Neil, we know exactly what this is. So many. I did a thing with Seal Twister last night, and I got so many nat 20s, and now I'm paying the price.
Damn. Sorry, Amy, you declared one last thing. It was a bone. Was Bardic Inspiration?
I gave Bardic Inspiration to Esme.
Rock and roll. Thank you for that. Awesome. All right. With that, we are 2 dearest Esme.
Amy, you're so cursed.
Yeah, Esme's gonna do what she did the last time. She's just gonna Misty Step up onto the giant and stab him in the face. / neck area.
Yeah, cool. Give them rolls, buddy.
Nice.
Much like the previous giant, Esme anime teleports up and spins the blade and drives it through its ear, and you hear like a sickening, meaty, like slash clunk, and like you see this thing's eyes roll back and it starts to like kind of like twitch and like and like kind of like fall backwards. Esme, can I have an acrobatics check to land safely?
I'm gonna add my Bardic Inspiration to it.
You want to stick the
Okay.
landing.
Yeah, cool. You land with a flourish, and like wielding the blade, and like kind of like this massive being kind of like topples back into boom, and as this body hits,
Imagine it's very like Legolas running down the front of the elephant.
Yeah, very OTT, very nice, very stylish. But yeah, as this thing's like timber, like Esme's like running down, kind of like slides down the shin and off the lip of the foot and lands. And like, whoo, I'm alive! And this thing collapses down onto the ground and like this big massive booming roar or wallop kind of rings out, like it's all that's heard as like a silence just descends on the cavern. All eyes kind of like slowly, like in disbelief, stare at the corpses, and then slowly rotate towards Jesus, who does not look happy. He does not look impressed. He does not look. He like low key. He's definitely impressed, but he's very much just like how. And then
Guys, should someone shout, "Are we not entertained? Are you not entertained?" I feel like someone should shout, "Are you not entertained?"
if you want to, you can do that.
Anybody else? Anybody else wants to?
No.
You
Esme,
can
go for it.
ahead.
Esme, where is it then? She just says, "Are you not entertained?"
You spy a small like Bergen's doing that like generic anime, like has been standing to the side for some reason, like mentor thing. And you can see like as the crowd was like, oh, I don't know what it just said, but it was nice. You can see like a grin kind of like slowly crawls up her face, and Lou Motton's kind of holding onto her like her leg, kind of like, and like when you say that, he's kind of like, and Theseus kind of like, you know, scoffs and he's like, and like you see he's going to say something, and like you see Bergen kind of like tap him in the leg with the her staff and kind of just shoot him a look, and just kind of like rolls his eyes almost in like absolute defeated disgust, and kind of like beckons the party forward, just that big, really slow like hand gesture of like, you know, come up the ramp. And like as he does this, you see like two guards put down this massive wooden ramp that you guys can like run up to get back out of the pit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, right, guys. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I need to refill my water. I'm dying of thirst. But yeah, back in 2 seconds, and then we'll continue this.
I can't believe we were actually right about me being cursed.
I can't believe we basically 2 Colosseum in the last 2 days.
Well, this one went a bit quicker.
I feel like Darren needs to build encounters for like a level or 2 above us, because we just seem to fucking kick ass. I don't want to jinx it, but like we're doing real well, guys.
Shush! Someone, do you remember whoever it was? And I think I know who it was, but I'm not gonna say.
was
Asked to make
Andrew.
encounters.
It was
Oh,
Andrew.
I was gonna say Roger.
No, it
Was
was
asked
Andrew.
to make encounters harder and Warforged, and people died a lot of times, and just you count your blessings, you count your chickens, they're hatching little I don't know.
What's hatching?
It's fine.
Nothing.
Okay. Right, moving on. You guys are essentially ushered out of the pit, and the crowd parts, and some look disgusted, some look impressed. But you are led towards, again, through a sprawling city, and kind of like just like carved out huts out of like naturally formed like chunks of rock and such. Again, like these like relief carvings and paintings dot this place. You spy like sculptures at some spots and stuff. It's, you know, it seems to be very like art focused city. It's in their own way. But you enter through what looks like gigantic like royal doors almost. A lot more sentries and guards in this area. And you're brought into this massive like entrance hall yet again. And at the very end is this gargantuan gaping dragon's mouth. It looks like it's been carved from the stone itself. And on its left side sits one gigantic kind of just hasn't been moved, like jade eye, and it's got all these weird runes and such, and well, not runes, but letters perhaps inscribed in it. And in the middle of this mouth, this massive mouth that like you guys would have to call the steps for you guys would be like, you know, like a climbing, like quite literally a climb each step kind of thing. Sits at the top is this like royal king. You see they wear like what looks like a crown of stones of some sort, but they sit. He sits kind of like leaning on one arm, kind of like his bags under his eyes. You're not entirely sure what the sleeping patterns or the sleeping arrangements of a giant is, but if it's anything like what you guys go through, you can see that this individual has not slept in days. Massive bags under his eyes, kind of thing. Perhaps weeks. You're not entirely sure. They look kind of aged, wrinkles and all that sort of stuff. They've actually got hair. They're one of the only individuals in the entire settlement that has hair, really long, flowing down to like the staircase itself, like grey locks, and they've got like what looks like iron, like mineral ore that's been shaped into jewelry, not refined, melted down, but like the stone itself with like veins of ore and such in it is like bracelets and necklaces and such. And oh yes. I thought someone's mic turned on. And yeah, like as you guys enter, he's kind of like he's looking onto the side, really glum, like completely destroyed, really glum expression. And when you guys are following Odysseus, and he kind of like just doesn't turn to meet you guys or anything, but you can see you guys kind of just turn, like rotate to see who these visitors are. And Odysseus kind of like brings you to about like maybe 20 feet from this individual's like staircase, which again is like another maybe 30 feet, that sort of thing. And like as you guys get to that kind of like 20 feet mark, he kind of like shakes his hand to be like stop walking, and he like says something to the king, and again what you can only assume is giant. And the king kind of just like not sits upright, but kind of just rotates their body to kind of like look towards the party. I have no clue. Perhaps he does, perhaps he doesn't. We'll know when he gets back. But Odysseus turns to the party and is like, make your case.
Will they understand us? Will you translate?
Odysseus nods and is like, my king will.
And again, Isidore will take a step forward and she'll bow and she'll give them the same spiel. She'll say, "We're from the town below. We want to return what has been taken from you, and we don't know where it is, but we have the means to find it. And all we ask is that you stop attacking us and give us the opportunity to return what was taken."
Sorry.
Oh, Ian, before we continue, sorry, Amy said a few words to the king. Can Risbeth speak giant?
I could not.
Oh, awesome, because we weren't entirely sure. Rock and roll. Odysseus turns to the king as Isadora says this. The king, like again, just seems to like slowly like blink his eyes as if like completely just like tired. Odysseus turns back to Isadora and addresses her. Like, why the sudden change in attitude? Why the charity?
We are not originally from this town, and what I believe the issue to be is that most people do not know why you attack. They do not know what was taken from you. They do not know what is the cause of the troubles between our clan and yours. I believe that if they knew, they would do their utmost to end this, to do what they could to do right by you. We're the first, like, to the best of my knowledge, we're the first ones to be granted the honor to speak with you and to find out what has happened here.
Odysseus looks at Isadora as she says this, like, yes, you're not the one. You're the first who have not blindly thrown themselves at our defenses, unyielding when we send warnings, and downright foolish when we attack. You say you're not from this town of Orion. Then why bother helping at all?
It's still a part of our home. It's we want to help the people there and help you here, and we want to end this conflict. It's not for anyone. It's not helping anyone.
Can I have a persuasion check, please, Amy?
All right, everyone, cross your fucking fingers, and we'll see how this goes now. Oh, thank God.
Odysseus takes this in and slowly kind of just a skiller bow. Yes, well done, Amy. That was a lovely roll.
That was lucky.
Well, all dice rolls are lucky, really. He turns to the king. I mean, realistically, if I want to break it down, turns to the king as if waiting for a response, and the king nods and he looks at the party and he's like, "You may speak freely." And Odysseus is like, my king, and he's just hushes and waves his hand.
Is he talking to all of us? We can all speak freely?
Yeah, he kind of waves his hand as you may all speak freely. He's like, "What do you know of the thief, the missing item?"
We don't know of the thief other than what we've been told, which is they used magic to take it. What we do know is within this town there's a certain group of merchants that deal with unusual items. They might be able to provide a clue if it was sold or passed through their wares. We can approach the leader of the town about it to see if they know anything about it. As soon as everyone knows what the issue is down there, I believe that they will do their utmost to try and fix it. The problem at the moment is just that they don't know how to placate you.
The king nods and he's like, "What are your names?"
Isidore Tanner, Your Majesty. And to the others.
Hello. At your service.
Does Esme vogue, Neil?
No, it's more just she bows. She looks like a giant douchebag.
I hope I'm prepared to trouble and make it double kind of thing, like rose in her mouth. But yeah, just Coda and Risbit introduce themselves to the king.
Yeah.
I'll use my real name.
Yeah, cool. And he's like, And he's like, "I think you're kind. I've been around since the flashes in the sky, and we retreated to the mountains, realizing perhaps our time had come to let the small beings of the world run rampant for a while. I mean, we kind of set the place up, really. Do you see any dragons about these days?"
Yes. Very, very far south, and exploded by an airship.
He nods, but you can tell when you say airship, just I don't know what that is.
I know those words separately.
Yeah, 100%. He's like, "Don't look silly in front of the common folk." He's like, "You say you know people who could get our eye back, the second jewel of the mountain?"
We know people who might provide a lead in order that we could find it for you. Yes.
Does the eye afford you any power?
It is one of the eyes of the mountain. It is holy and well revered among people.
And that is something I respect. I am something of a religious person myself, but I mean in a more practical sense.
He nods.
Does it afford you any magical abilities?
He nods when Esme is like, "No, I get that." He's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "We believe that it allows us to commune with the mountain herself. And the pair is broken, ergo the mountain is silent. Some of my people wish to march on the city, take it back by force, but frankly, I would prefer not to do this. I feel it's not in our nature. I believe they're frustrated. I can see why they're angry, but But eventually they'll outvote me, and time is getting stressed, and the houses and the royal families are slowly going over to the easier fix, and time is of the essence. Well, not of the essence, but
Can you tell us anything else about the thief?
he like gestures to like one of the sentries and says something in giant, and then he looks back to the party and he's like, this is Cleto. He was there the night stolen. He says something. He kind of nods, like just like nicely, and like nods at this individual called Cleto. And Cleto starts like speaking in giant, and he's like translating essentially.
Okay.
And he says, "Sorry, one second. Okay, I'm good." Yeah, no, he's like, Cleto thought of, admittedly being half asleep on the job, but then again, it's not like your kin come this far deep into the mountain anyway, or nor the tiny homekins creatures come, they're up. But they said they wore a thick blue robe. They couldn't see their feet. They seemed pale. The man's quite pale. The jade eye floated behind them as if it weighed nothing. A sickly blue energy surrounding it. Kind of pale, like the sky above, I believe, if my memory serves. He kind of looks forward as he says that. Almost kind of has a longing look in his face. Then kind of returns to the moment.
I don't know if it's a role I could make, but the guy we saw stealing stuff in Orion, the hazel eyes guy, did he have any kind of blue magic about him or a blue robe?
His robes were green with stitching, and that was kind of slightly darker green. But anytime he did anything, no glow.
Okay.
Another question similar in tone.
Uh-huh.
Is there a uniform to member of the Mages Guild that would have seen at any point?
It's not necessarily that there's an official color or anything. It's more just any of the official mages would have had the old, if we're going by in terms of I know the way the Orion chapter seemed to be very old school in quotations. It was just the traditional old school sigil badge. It would either be sewn on or kind of a pin, almost very large one over the left breast, kind of over the heart. It was a book open with an eye flaming above it, I believe. I could be wrong. I haven't used that description in ages, so I could be a little bit off. But essentially, it would be, you guys would know that the old mages uniform, so to speak, would just be robes on tradition. But that icon here over the over the heart, be it a pin or if it would be literally sewn into the robe. It kind of vary depending on who you talk to. Some people refer, it was kind of a debate sort of thing of which one they should go for.
She'll ask if Cleto can remember if there was any adornments on the robe.
The king will nod and say something again in to this Cleto individual, and he shakes his head and and he kind of goes oh, and the Cleos and the king kind of is looking at him, turns back, he says, there was no adornments that stuck, but what did make Cleto think was odd, that terrible way of phrasing it, and what Cleto thought was odd was that the individual robes were long and thick, but it didn't seem to be walking as they moved. It was very much just the robes were moving along the ground as if they were walking, that kind of level. But
Cleto or King via Cleto via King. Was it cold when you saw this person? Unusually cold.
The king realized this. Cleto shakes his head, says something, and the king looks at Esme and is like, not really, we don't really feel the cold. If it was by any standards, no, but apparently it was just a regular night.
That's fine then.
So how quickly can you return this item to me?
Probably gonna take us a while to get it back up the hill. Is what's her name? Would it be possible for Blurgan to come down the mountain with us? Like, I don't know if she needs to be given leave, and obviously it depends on whether or not she wants to, but it might make it easier for us to transport something of such a large size. And it also might do some good for relations between both sides if we can bring down one giant, maybe keep them outside town, or maybe bring inside to meet people, you know, start getting over this hill. Ha ha ha.
The king nods, like he says something in giant, and Blurgan nods. He nods like, Blurgan will follow you to with a safe distance to your town, city, dwelling. Is that all? And he like leans back and like looks all in the eye, kind of thing, as if like, you know, that's that settled.
So
How much time can you give us?
How quick can you get it done, Miss Isadora?
We need to find where it is, and we need to retrieve it. If Blurgan is going to be acting as a go-between, I suppose we can relay to her information, and she can get it back to these guys, and we can... I'm proposing this out of character to everyone. Would a week be pushing
I
it?
was thinking a week would. No, I think a week would be enough.
So yeah, we'll tell him if he gives us a week, we'll at least have some new information to act on.
He nods like slowly to this, and he's like, "Very well, Miss Tanner and comrades, go forth and let it be known that you are under the protection of Nullrug, the Crestfallen King of the Giants."
Thank you for your generosity, Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, if I may ask one more or a few more questions about something else before we leave.
He nods and kind of like the floor, kind of like gesture.
You say that you are very old. How old are you?
He grins and he's like, "Oh, you know, I don't need to brag, but I'm pushing 900 soon." And he grins.
And you mentioned something from long ago when you retreated back into the mountains. Lights in the sky. Can you explain to me what they were?
He nods and he's like, "We only know vaguely what it was. This was our land originally. We hunted giants. We hunted dragons. He even rode them at one point in games of speed and battle. It was rather fun, actually. Good times. And you know, we lived in harmony. And soon there was a flash in the sky. Ooh, I don't know what. I was but a babe. I think I was 2 at the time, just about to become an adult. And there was a giant flash in the sky, and these 5 bright lights. One seared off towards the ocean. The ground crashed, quaked, and we were unsure. Some of our settlements were hit, and you know, losses were had. You know, they're now at the Mountain Mother. As he says, a lot of the giants tip their heads slightly for a second. But yes, we saw these weird, almost like if they were like Orvays come to life. Beings walking around. We took it as a sign from perhaps the storm giants. We weren't sure. We respected the skies and their rulers, and you know, we are but stone giants. We're beneath the out in storms. So we took it as a sign that perhaps our time had come and we should leave this land that we had picked clean of dragon, for the most part anyway, to the next one. So we packed up our things and here we are now. Some venture out, much like Blurgan, like he like raises a hand and gestures to us, like it's like too much dismay of the community. They believe that the top side is but a dream that we all shared, and to go up there is, some believe, blasphemous, some believe mad, some believe you'll float away if you're not tied down, which is particularly interesting. But yes, happened quite some time ago.
Of course, without pressing you, Your Majesty, whereabouts did you say this thing fell to the ground?
Oh, there was one went to the south.
There was one nearby to here, wasn't there?
Perhaps
I remember a family member who spoke of it. But we're older.
A lot of what you call Orion now used to be of the water many years ago. I believe perhaps the coming of these lights changed that. Seemed to change the area around it, but the city of Orion used to be underwater. The land did not look as it does now, I believe. I've only seen some of the maps that our Dreamwalkers have made, and there's a lot more hill and grass, it seems, than there was when I was but a boy.
She says, "Thank you. That has as much as that has answered the questions I had. We will return soon."
Yeah, he nods, and it kind of like looks at the others as if like, does anyone else have any questions or anything they want to ask? Or
I'm good.
cool, yeah. He bids you adieu, kind of thing, like like waves you off, and Blurgan is kind of like, right, well, we'll get you back to your settlement post haste. Is that all right with you?
Yes, we have a lot of work to do.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So essentially, for the terms of like, unless people declare it or like want anything specific, are people content with for the next while you guys travel, and then when it's a case of time to rest, Blurgan essentially picks you all up and puts you in her backpack and essentially carries you guys the rest of the way down to Orion's, like within reason kind of thing. You guys kind of benefit from a long rest. It's a sense of, it's not exactly the most comfortable sleep in the world, but like, you're sleeping through the night sort of thing.
Can Blurgan carry the giant carapace off that boule?
Yeah, she can.
Yeah!
I was wondering if people remember that or not.
I remember the boule.
No, that's 100%.
I've forgotten the book.
I'd forgotten.
Yeah. No, I 100% was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's there.
that's because you guys are players and you don't remember cool things DMs give you.
Moving on. So yes, I'm gonna say the party all stick their head out like an elaborate collection of cartoon cards and direct Blurgan together to pick up the carapace of the creature that you guys defeated the other night. Yeah, and essentially it's like like loading screen. You guys are touched down, left out of the bag, fully rested, a bit sore, a bit stiff. It's not the comfiest sleep, but it's still a nice sleep nonetheless. With this carapace, kind of a chunk away, pretty much all the sentries in Orion could 100% see Blurgan if they're on duty, which some are. The townsfolk probably wouldn't see her from the angle they're at because of the walls. Not that the walls are towering or anything, it's just they wouldn't have any reason to look at it. But she leaves you down, and I'm going to stay at a safe distance. Me and Luke Martin will stay here and patrol, essentially watch the perimeter, and we'll wait for your signal.
Yeah, no,
Is that cool?
we'll report back as soon as we can.
Hey, actually, do you know what we're going to do, Blurgan? We're going to send a delightful Warforged named Vigilance out towards you. And she's going to keep you company and also potentially work on a way to help both of you, to help the giants and the people integrate a bit better. How does that sound?
She looks, she nods, and she's like, "I'll give it my best."
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, you guys essentially to pull that thing back into Orion, the carapace that is, on these strength checks. But yeah, you guys are in Orion. Give me that strength checks, friends.
Is it at all helpful if I was to turn like full wolf and drag it?
I mean,
Like a sled.
I mean, everybody give me strength checks, and we'll see how this goes.
That should be +2, not plus exclamation mark.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. But Esme, oh sorry, Isadora and Coda are, given that they're all just can't get a good grip, and Esme and Risbit are kind of like taking up the slack sort of thing. And yeah, you guys essentially, where are you guys bringing this? Essentially, what's your destination? You guys are in. Oh, jeez, calm down there, phone. Whoa, what's going on now?
The albatross.
The albatross, right? Yeah, cool. It takes you a little while. You heads turn as this group of adventurers pulling what looks like the top scalp, perhaps, of a beast, followed by a walking little, chest. Just parade through the city. The guards kind of like don't stop you. They kind of like say, "Oh, that's the group of adventurers that they have clearly been adventuring." Okay. They kind of like watch you guys with a careful eye, not like maliciously or anything, but just kind of like, what is going on here? I hope it's not trouble. But yeah, no one stops you or gives you beef or anything. A couple of kids point and kind of go forward and be like, oh, and then their parents kind of grab them and say, get away from the weirdos, little Jimmy. But yeah, you guys essentially arrive back near the albatross. Takes you some time, but eventually you guys get there. Are you intending to bring this thingamajiggy into the albatross? Yeah.
Can we park it outside? We'll just park it outside.
Like prop it up against the wall, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And you enter the albatross then, guys?
Esme does.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, awesome. The party go into the albatross. You behind the counter is the familiar Bert. What is that thing outside? And as he's declaring this, you see the clerics of Pelor, the torchbearers, Vigilance, Wrath, and Grace, or Duty, if you want to be specific about titles, all sitting down. Wrath and Grace are tucking into some food happily. Like they've got healthy, hefty portions each, drinking mead and like kind of like, hey guys, oh God! And they kind of look over and they got big mouths full of food. Vigilance, nothing in front of her, and like sees the parents like, oh my God! And she stands up like ahead of the others, kind of like almost oddly walks fast over. And she's like, guys, bring it in. It's been so long. It gives like a big wide hug.
How long were we gone for? It was only a couple of days, right?
Correct. And does everybody partake in the group hug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear, we need to talk.
Oh.
Away from the others.
Oh, wait, just Vigilance?
This is from Vigilance, yeah.
Ooh. Why
As
do
many
we
just-
have a thing we need to bring in from outside? Why don't you come help us?
Oh my God, he's going under my...
The Echo Neil.
Oh my God, Laura, you have such small problems in your life. Esme just shouts and says she needs a smoke, and she steps outside.
Who follows forth?
I will.
Yeah, I'll go outside.
This was like, I will partake.
I will partake in a slight J. Yeah, the others are kind of like, oh, where are you going? And Vigilance like, oh, they feel sick. It's probably the sea air. I'm just gonna go make sure heal them, woohoo, and like her hands glow, and they're like, okay, and like biting into like oranges and apples and stuff, and like eating like what looks like sandwiches maybe or not.
They like haven't stopped drinking since they got here.
Oh yeah, they have got like flagons each of like some. It looks like mead, that kind of foamy drink.
Darren.
Yes, Neil.
Esme outside in what I'm assuming is a smoking area will immediately approach someone and ask for a match. she'll just be like, "Do you have a lighter?" And then she'll say, "Oh, do you also have a smoke?" And that's how it happens.
Hey, yeah, no. A passerby is like, yeah, okay, and gives you like their last cigarette and like a shoddy match and keeps walking.
Esme just says he's the most beautiful man she's ever met because she's a girl.
Drawn on from experience here, Neil, bumming cigarettes.
100% yes.
Fair. Yeah, right. So the smoking area is beautifully lit, and it's not. It's an alleyway. It smells like piss. There's definitely puke and some other weird fluids lying about. Vigilance kind of looks over her shoulder, kind of. She's like, "Okay, how long have you guys been here?"
Like, we were in the town for a day, and then we went up the mountain, and now we're here. What's going on? Yeah, we've, like, propped it up at the end of the alley, so it's like, go away.
It's an impromptu door.
Yeah.
Leomund's tiny hut, my ass. She's like, "Okay, have you been eating the food?"
No. Yes, while we were there, but not since we've come back.
Okay, good. Don't be. There's something in the food.
Why do you say that? What makes you think that?
You saw the other two, right? Why don't you go in there and ask them to leave the city? See what happens.
How long have you been here?
I don't know, since Dagdom, since last time, but I don't really need to eat, so I don't eat. I don't entertain the notion. I'm just like, oh, I'm good, thanks. But ever since the others, obviously, they had no reason to think anything wrong of the food they're ordering. But yeah, they have been acting weird and not complicit what's going on. They're very much of their still of their dogma, but they just seem so intent in staying in Orion. It has to be the food. It's the only thing. I don't eat. I sleep obviously. But I am relatively aware of what goes on in the room. So, and they don't. Obviously, they're not partaking in any illegal substances or anything. And it has to be. There's no other way it can be anything else. It has to be the food. It's the only thing they do that I don't. And we've relatively, as you'd probably imagine, we kind of travel together, we stick together for the most part, bar a handful of times, that sort of thing. But unless they're doing everything that could, be magic or rituals or exposing themselves to something they shouldn't, in those brief hours that we're away, it has to be the food. It's the only thing that makes sense.
The whole thing about the food getting in here was suspicious from the first instance.
Yeah, Vigilance, where's this food coming from?
Carts leave and carts return the same day with mountain piles of food, kind of nothing seaworthy, which is kind of odd in itself, giving that realistically we could just fish. And she points towards the direction of the ocean, within reason, obviously. I'm not a fisherman, but I'd imagine you kind of have to go out deep to get lots. But anyway, besides the point. But yes, no, carts leave, they disappear for a while, and they come back in the evenings every few days. They leave empty and they come back quite stocked up, with enough to feed the city. It's convoys go out every time, and it's very odd. I wanted to follow it up, but I am but one person, and if it is something nefarious, I was worried that I could be outnumbered, and I'm not good to anyone dead, and it involves leaving the city as well. So I was terrified that if my theory of them never wanting to leave because of this food is correct, then if I perished or I was captured or something, they wouldn't come looking for me. Why would they? They won't leave the city.
I think I'm not one who knows much about magic, but that sounds like magic, and we're looking for someone who is strictly involved in kind of crazy magic stuff. Why don't we tail them for a night and see if it brings us somewhere where potentially our blue-robed figure is hiding out?
She nods and she was like, I was considering such a plan as well. And it kind of looks at Coda, it's like, yes.
It sounds familiar, pacifying people with substances. It might not be magic, it could be something that's slipping into the food.
Well,
regardless, if it's the food that's just appearing.
But it's the same. It's the same approach as in Uria, pacifying people, the drugs.
But this isn't Uria. This isn't anywhere even
Isadora.
close to Uria. Why keep people here? Why drug them? Why make them complacent?
Because if they're complacent, they can't mount a defense against the giants that are currently planning to come and attack the giants that have been aggravated by someone coming and stealing their gem. Chances are this is a thing to kill the people in Orion.
Or they're complacent so that when the hand expands, as we know they're
I
going
don't
to
think
do...
this is the hand.
Are you sure?
The hand hasn't unified here. There's no reason for the hand to be active here. It's 100%
Well, we know they plan to
the
expand.
giants coming to kill people.
You think the giants are drugging people?
No, I think someone is trying to hit the giants against the people of Orion for something.
Oh. Vigilance, does Orion have any enemies? Like, historically speaking, like, would it be seen as a threat to anyone?
She shakes her head and she's like, no, not really. I've, like, occupied myself in the library someday. As far as I know, they were just quite a small little town next to Uria, and it got bigger and bigger and became a trade-worthy kind of a large following of Osprey, for sea voyages and fishing and such and all that. But not that I know of. No, there's been no history of like war on Dagdom or the capital or anything. No, there was nothing. In history is just very much like they grew, and the city, after it grew, kind of upset the local wildlife. So some of the what one would deem monsters from the local areas would swarm the cities, but they repel them like anything when too much like civilization, nature bounces back, that sort of thing. The natural world kind of strikes back, that kind of old. But no, there's been no talk unless there is, and I just don't know it. From what I gathered, no, it's just been a sea voyage centric and fishing city that's quite prosperous. But yeah, no, it's weird that people are just like, well, they've no real reason to doubt it. They probably think it's coming from like the neighboring cities or something like, you know what I mean? It's and she just kind of shrugs like, I'm at a loss. I don't know, but I'm quite glad you're here, and I'm glad you haven't eaten. You guys are gonna have to I don't know if you have rations left over from your travels, but you're gonna have to resort to eating that for a while. I recommend, at least.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course, we'll have to do that. But if this drugging is connected to the Visions, we were actually trying to sort out the giant problem as well. What happened is something's been stolen from them. It was probably a magic user who stole it. So if this is connected to that, it's worth looking into. We have like a couple of people we can talk to about it.
Sheena, okay, and where would you like to begin? I'm not too sure. I know of the giant issue. I know that they're the ships and such, and you say someone stole something from them. Obviously you guys returning here means our plan was a success, so you've obviously spoken to them, I hope. Someone stole something?
A giant jade rock, like a hunk of jade, has been pried free from a dead dragon's head and carried down by someone floating on air and floating the air behind them.
Oh my, oh jeez, that seems rather magical. I don't mean to point fingers, but with the maids, have you spoken to the mayor at all about this yet?
No, we haven't.
Okay, would you like to take the mayor and all around about mages? I think
the mages are a much more likely lead than the mayor.
I mean, we do have one other lead I would like to consider.
Vigilance looks at Coda as like, yes.
The strange traders we met.
Yeah, that's who I was going to suggest we talk to about.
I know you're talking about consulting them, and I don't want to assume anything, but should they not be suspects?
Yeah. No, I mean that's very fair.
I mean, we know one of them is a thief, and the only indication of hand presence in this city that we've seen.
Yeah, no, he's certainly worth looking into, but
I don't want to presume his guilt, I just think we should be cautious about him.
She nods and okay, where is he? Yeah, no, that's a strong lead as well. Where would you like me to go? Would me to accompany you, or would you like me to go look at one while you look at the other? Cover more bases. What would you like to do?
Well, out of character, what I was going to suggest if two of us go to the mayor and the other just go talk to Oswald.
Yeah, that could work. Yeah.
Or we could do like a two of us go to Oswald, two of us go to the mages, and Vigilance goes to the mayor or something like that. If we wanted to split the party. If we don't want to split the party, then...
Like, because we're in a town, I think it'll be okay. But, you know, don't count chickens.
I don't mind.
Where does Isadora want to go?
She would want to go talk to Oswald, and I think, Darren, you told us that his shop is, well, their shop is directly across from the
Yeah, near the
Oh yeah,
outpost,
like 100%. If you guys peered over the carapace door that you guys have propped it up now, it's like literally Oswald's oddities is right there.
Yeah. Coda, I'm assuming, wants to go and speak to Oswald.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I'd do either. I don't mind if someone else wants to go to Oswald.
I will take Risbet to the mayor.
Rock and roll.
He knows.
Okay. Anyone have a preference as to where vigilance goes?
I have a thing
Okay.
that I want Vigilance to go out and meet Blurgan. If for no other reason than to ensure that Blurgan has not disappeared to go and like tell the giants to attack. Or if Blurgan becomes afraid that the giants are coming to attack, that someone who is not a giant can come and tell us.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a solid point. Are people content sending vigilance on that little
Yeah, she's happy to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, vigilance is like 100%. It's like, oh, no, I want to help. That's no issue at all. Cool, guys. Right, I realized we just went over. It's cool to say we'll break now for 5 minutes and people go off in their respective directions. So when we come back, like Coda and such, we'll be at Oswald and the others will be at the mayor's. Well, in the building. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. Back in 5 minutes. Yelling. You hear someone yelling. Welcome back, Laura. We're jumping to Esme and Risbet first, as just because you know what you can. As you enter, you see someone in very flamboyant, colourful, and like kind of rich clothing. Their pantaloons are rather like puffy, outy, and are striped with dark green stripes with slightly like kind of like pale limeish like other stripes. They got boots that were clearly made for walking, as they're quite aged. They're over like their kind of long coat is very embroidered and glittery, almost kind of like scales. It's very la-di-da. They seem to have like elven ears. You reckon from the back of their head that the skin tones and the length of ears probably a wood elf. And their hair is kind of down into like a very like long down to their butt braid, kind of dark brown hair. And they're like, this is outrageous. I've come every day about this. More and more dogs are going missing. Now our trustees hounds have gone missing from the boat right on the noses, and the watch aren't doing anything. And there's a soft-spoken man behind the counter or the table. Sorry, he's like, I'm sorry you feel this way, sir, but realistically, the mayor's office is rather swamped with the giant issue and other things. We can't halt such serious things to look for a stray dog. I apologize. This is very much for the watch to handle. And he's like,
well,
does Esme say that?
Yeah, Esme just interrupts. You've got a week to figure out what's going on with the giant situation, and we're on that. So I suggest you look for the dogs.
Sorry, who are you? And this like individual to the left is kind of like, yeah, who are you?
Esme ignores the fucking clown to her immediate left, and she just says like, "Oh, it's Esme Nilo and Risbet Saltfuel. Yeah, we were talking to the guards recently about going up to the mountains to talk to the giants or kill them, and we've done that, and we're back, and we're here to speak to the mayor, as he was warned we were coming." So she like looks at her non-existent watch and is like, "Tell him he's got it 2:00.
The secretary is like, all right, I'm up to mountain. Oh, wow, to the giants. Oh, okay. And it's kind of like shuffling papers, and like the clown to her immediate left is just like, I highly fucking doubt that.
That's great. You look like an idiot. And she just turns back to the secretary. It's like, I can't help but notice you're not going behind your desk to the office.
The secretary's like, oh, the guy's like, oh, like
That's
it
great.
runs behind.
Seriously, don't say that to the mayor.
And they run through a door. He looks flustered. The clown turns on her heel and is like, fucking legends, and strolls off.
I can't wait to see you at your next show.
Oh my god.
It's like, is your sword play as like dull as tongue play?
She like activates the sword of Pelor. She says, I mean, I've killed giants in the last day and a half, and the only thing you've killed is any semblance of good taste with that clothes. So you can just tally on, and we'll see if we can't help convince the mayor that the dog problem is more serious than you could.
She whistles at me like, and keeps walking, and kind of like winks at Rizbit as she goes by.
Hey, don't be doing that at me.
Hey, I've got it now.
The secretary returns like, oh, okay, he's just finished up speaking to someone and he will be with you posted. If you could just sit there, and gesture to like a few seats off to the side. It's like, and please don't talk to me again. Thank you. And like kind of like runs behind his desk.
Esme sits down and is perfectly pleasant.
For once in her life.
Ho! Clap! The same kind
It's
of
gonna
clap
get
at
worse
door.
before it gets better.
Oh,
Yeah.
it
Am
will.
I gonna get worse?
Oh, my dudes. Coda, Isadora, you stroll. How do you enter Oswald's Oddities?
Just walk in. I assume it's not
Normally-
like, it doesn't look closed or anything.
No, it 100% has like her open sign like on the front of it, kind of like hastily scrawled on like a piece of board.
Yeah, just walk in as if
Yeah.
we're any other shop.
Yeah, you stroll straight in. There's a little bell ring. It kind of looks like a cramped pet shop almost. It's got that weird smell that like every pet shop has. Weird lizards sit in cages. As you walk through the door, jars of eyes all rotate to like look at you and follow you ominously.
No.
You know. Yeah, oh, actually, yeah, no, 100%. There's a lot of jars actually. Weird like homunculuses sit in like resin and amber, such on shelves. Weird like trinkets almost. There's just like at one point one of the shelves you guys pass is like all these ominous like hearts in a jar, eyes in a jar, clearly like a frozen crooked hand of probably some god known witch, and then a really nice locket with a butterfly on it is in between all of this stuff. That's the thing. Everything seems to obviously divided into sets, and you're like, ooh, customers. And behind the counter is a very tall, lanky, pointed features ginger man with a ginger beard, and to be Oswald.
Good afternoon.
It's like, yes, the strangers that were carried on into our fair city on, a wild wheel. What do I owe the pleasure? What can dear old Oswald do for you today?
Oswald, we're looking for something very peculiar. We thought you were a person to help us try to find us.
Oh, my flattery. Do go on.
It's about this big, and she like holds her head or her arms to indicate the size of the other like eye that they saw. It's covered in carved symbols, and it's made of solid jade. You ever heard anything like that?
He was like, no. It just sounds like a giant rock. What does it do?
Inside.
Yeah, rock away.
Can I try as well?
Rock away. You may indeed.
Ugh.
Nothing conclusive. He just seems to be looking at you guys and responding to your words.
Oswald, we're trying to fix this giant problem the town's been having. And this item was stolen from them. And you're wondering if maybe someone passed it through your hands.
Oh wow, really? Stolen from? Wow, okay. How did they manage that exactly? Giant smash things.
Some sort
Okay, yeah,
of
no,
magic.
a lot of magic. Whoa, okay. And
And I must impress upon you with the urgency of this. If we don't find this within, say, a week or so, this entire town is going to be in a lot of trouble.
oh well, that's no pressure at all. Wait here, bloody hell! And it's like, oh god, and like goes behind one of the doors, and like you can hear a lot of the doors opening, and you can kind of hear like muffled yelling, and when he returns, the individual you know to be Morthal or Hazel Eyes appears as well with him. And it's like, yeah, no, they're talking about some giant ass jade stone, really big, from the giants apparently. And he's like, And they both kind of sit down and lean on the desk, and they're like, oh, but have you talked to the mayor about it? Have you been to the mayor place at all?
Friend of ours is home now.
Cool.
Remember
So
you heard any of this?
He
It didn't pass through the shop or through your hands or anything?
It's like nothing that big, no.
I'm gonna inside him.
Yeah, it's like...
I'm gonna say have disadvantage because it's literally two eyes peering out from behind a metal mask that has no emotional. Oh, what a waste of money. I'm sorry, Amy. In my defense, I started that sentence before you, so I apologize.
Still
Hey,
pretty
19.
good!
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's good. Yeah, again, you read from this eyes alone that this dude seems to be telling, like, legit. He's like, the fuck, what would I need a giant jade stone for? Here's a giant jade eye. I'll sell it to a nutter. Very much like, you know, what? I ain't no jade eyes. But they're like, so, you're going to the mayor's after this?
Well, a couple of friends of ours are with the mayor now.
Yeah, but you could go to the mayor's after this.
We could. Why are you being so insistent about it, though?
Hazel Eyes rolls his eyes, and Oswald's like, "Do you wanna help your new buddies out?"
You think they have something to do with this?
Oh, maybe, I don't know. He's like Murphy. He's like, all right. It might not be related to this, but you know, is the mayor's place is kind of magically inclined, and a lot of my invisibility and displacement magic kind of goes on the fritz near there. But I have it on good authority that he's holding a mirror that lets one change their appearance, kind of like if you're familiar with the spell Disguise Self, like that for a day for free. It's pretty great. As far as I know, he uses it to change suits for meetings and such. But I have a client who wants it. Do you want to help me get it? My information is legit. One of the secretaries there are very. She's very talkative after a few drinks.
Well, what information can you give us? Like, what's it worth to us? Like, do you know any other contacts? Do you know someone who might be capable of like seeing the eye in this way?
Yeah, our contacts are kind of us, really. To steal something that size, they'd need to sustain. I'm assuming they use magic, right? That this wasn't like a pried out and dragged across the ground kind of job.
No,
right?
we were explicitly told they use magic. Thick blue robe. They didn't walk; they floated. Does any of that sound familiar?
Not as if like an MO of anyone I know, but like I can just from the top of my head levitate it to not make noise. They probably carried it through magic to not again make noise, but to sustain such magic for such a long period of time to at least get it out of. I'm assuming a hall that has treasures for giants can only be gargantuan. They need to be very well versed and like their magic ability must run deep. They must be a stronger mage than I ever could be.
And would that be anyone like? Would anyone in the Mages Guild have that kind of power? Like, would it be someone from outside of town?
If they Oswald strokes his beard as he thinks, and Mirthal kind of like strokes his handsome beard. Like, perhaps the leader. I don't know the leader of the Mages Guild. We don't really dabble with them. Again, magically inclined folk, we kind of stay clear of, especially their buildings. We don't know what kind of things the Mages Guild or the Mages Academy, whatever you want to call it, are rocking. But yeah, no, we stay clear of that stuff, just as a precautionary thing. Perhaps, yeah, they like if realistically, if you're the head of a guild or teaching at an academy, you should be like, pretty high in the bar of magic. They might be able to do it. I can't sustain such spells. I could sustain one of those spells for quite some time to do it, but not both at the same time. I'm not that strong, and I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty good at what I do. So yeah, no. Perhaps like the higher brass of the guild, like in theory, should be able to do it just by like if you're teaching a guild, you should have that level of ability. But yeah, no, that's quite powerful magic you're dealing with there.
Okay. I have another question, and this is a hypothetical.
Yeah. Go ahead, Amy.
Oh no, she's posing this Oswald Myrtle.
Oh, sorry, I apologize.
This is purely a hypothetical. If you had to, let's say business was bad. Let's say business rock bottom. You weren't making any sales. You weren't getting anything to sell, and you had to pack your bags and leave Orion. Would you do it?
Probably. It'd be a drag. I love this shop, and Oswald kind of like takes the bones. Like, yeah, no, I do it, and like Hazel kind of just like, yeah, no, yeah, why?
I don't know if this is connected to what we're looking into, but a friend of ours suspects that there's something about the food that's coming into town that's affecting people. Have you noticed anything like that?
Oh, not with our food, and like Myrtle kind of like cocks his head at Oswald and is like, yeah, no, we don't eat the food here.
Oh, okay.
We have he kind of like looks around as if like almost like he's embarrassed, not really embarrassed, but he's like kind of like, ugh. And Oswald is like, oh, I came across this really good, great bowl years ago, a bowl of good berries. Every day it juices like roughly 7 to 14, give or take. You don't need those bad boys per day, and there's your food for the whole day. So yeah, we've been using it ever since. It's low costly, and it's literally free. It's deadly.
Oh, okay, very good. No, our friends that wherever this food is coming from, whatever's in it, it's making people complacent. And the issue is, if this thing with the giants goes belly up, I don't know if people are going to evacuate in time. I think Orion is going to take a very, very serious hit.
You think there could be all out like fighting?
The giants are prepared. Like, we managed to buy some time by talking to their king, but most of the giants are prepared to march on the town. If we don't find this eye, if we don't get it back to this place is going to be destroyed.
And Oswald's like, oh, wonderful. And like, Merton really kind of like react to it. Just kind of like, wonderful.
Like, could you even like keep an ear out for anything like this? Any sort of powerful magic user, anything related to this eye?
Oswald nods and then like snakily leans across the table. It's like, yeah, we'll do that if you help with the mirror.
Look, guys, I know you mean well, and I know you want to. And I completely understand that, but we're trying to stop everyone from being murdered. We can help you with the mirror, but it's not 100% a priority. You get that, don't you?
They both kind of shrug and they're like, yeah, sure, if you say so.
Like, we're willing to. Well, I mean, I'm willing to help. I'll steal a fucking mirror. I don't care. She kind of like gestures, kind of like, you can do whatever. But my priority for the moment is not being crushed. Like, we'll let you know if you want to help out with the mirror situation. We'll reflect on that, but
Reflect on it?
Yeah, I did that on purpose. Actually, something else I'll ask them is that now that I've mentioned the food, like, do they have any idea where it comes from?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I hear you guys. It's just my dad was being weird. Yeah, no, they kind of like look at each other and they're like, "Oh well, I suppose if the city gets us right, we can just through the rubble." And then to that, like Hazel eyes are like, and Isadora's question was,
Isara's question was, do they have any idea where food is like coming in from? Where the carts go when they've dropped off their load, that kind of thing.
Hazel kind of like shakes his head, like, "No, I wouldn't really like get out during the day as much, apart from when we're procuring items." And Oswald kind of grins at like the concept of procuring items. I was like, "No, I know the like watch and mayors, whatever you're like, you know, the local establishments have some convoys that go out and get some stuff that I've never eaten it. We just it's just literally cheaper. It's savers, but like those coppers add up, that sort of thing. But as far as I know, stuff goes out at night and day, and eventually they come back. I assume it's getting stuff from the capital, or it's a lot of food, but they must be getting from a nearby town or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say to Oswald, like, asking us to steal something from the mayor in return for really nothing, realistically, is not a good deal, one merchant to another. Look, we'd be willing to get it for you, maybe, but you would have to do something for us in return.
Like what?
Well, I mean, your associate here is, quite good at going unseen. Perhaps he could follow one of the carts and tell us where they're going and where they're coming from.
Persuasion.
22.
Nice.
He's like, fine, but you're only to follow one. She's quick and silent. She can do her thing.
Well, that seems like a fairer deal. Perhaps we can meet back up here in a day or two. We can give you the mirror if you can give us the information.
He nods and extends a bony hand, and he's like, "Let's shake on it."
Yeah, I'll shake his hand. As long as he doesn't touch me inappropriately again.
You shake his hand, and you don't need an inside. It's 100% evil's like smile and grows across his face, and he's like, "I love a good deal." And he's like, "Is that all we can procure for you on this day, and more oddities you require?"
I mean, like, out of character, I was thinking we could maybe see what he could do with the carapace we took. I don't know, because I don't know if we're gonna actually use it for anything, but if someone has a plan for it, then I won't mention it to him.
Like, I think we would have discussed it, bringing it back in, like...
Yeah, like, what was our plan? Do people want to make something with it?
Or...
I'd sooner sell it to a blacksmith who, like, can turn it into armor or, like, a big shield.
That's
as
fair.
opposed to the lads who seem to just sell.
Yeah. Like, they do deal with a lot of, like, animal parts, but they'd probably just give us gold, whereas if you want to get something made out of it, maybe blacksmith is a better idea.
I'm not looking at it. Like, it's literally the only benefit of getting something made out of it might be getting a cool aesthetic shield for Rizbit.
Hmm. Oh yeah, like we can make like a +1 shield or something out of it. Huh?
I don't know.
I already have a shield.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe we could like make a fancy one, like a +1 or something.
True, maybe.
Cool, we'll hold on to it for now then. Yeah, then I'll just shake his hand and go. Well, unless Isadora has anything else to say.
No, I'll just like thank them for like hearing us out, and we'll scratch theirs.
Yep, that's cool. That's cool. Righty, you guys essentially turn to leave, and we snap back to dearest Esme and precious Rizbit.
How long have we been waiting?
About 10 minutes.
Don't you say anything.
She just says like, I don't know. They're all pretty complacent here. I feel like we can kind of test our hand, see how far we can push them, and it'll probably be fine.
Uh,
2 doors to the left of the secretary swing open,
Esme stands up.
and a tall, broad-shouldered, oh well, I have it written down here as a silver dragonborn. Stares to the two, and it's like, ah, yes, our passionate community members, please enter. And gestures to the door.
both of us will go.
Yep, I'll
Yeah.
follow in.
Yeah, cool. You guys are let in. It's kind of a long hallway. It's got like like paintings of like, Orion back in the day, and slightly better, and like the first major hall, and kind of like keystones in the Orion history. Very communal, very like like the people building the the fishing company buildings and all that kind of jazz. Very like like, oh, we're all in this together kind of camaraderie.
What's be the first thing? What does the founding of Orion look like?
It's really like the smallest village, and it's like a group of people like posing for like a really quick painting. It's really small, and it's very like it just happens to be painted in like sepia tones, oddly enough, kind of thing. People like one chap definitely has like his leg up a rock and has like a hunting bow, and it's very like, haha, look, we're pioneers. So, what is your names? What are your names? Sorry.
I'm Rizbit Sopfew, and this is Esme Nado.
So pleased to meet you. I'm Mayor Talon. So as we, take a trip down memory lane, what can I do? My secretary tells me you're rather passionate about meeting me, so I felt compelled.
Are we walking down the hallway?
Yeah, essentially walking to probably his office.
She just says, perhaps we could delay a moment before talking about business. I would just love to compliment you on your fine office. Her whole thing, she's essentially just delaying until we're all sitting face to face, essentially.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, it's very much like, it's not all me, it's the people that built this building, that sort of thing. Very like, answers the question without really kind of addressing it, sort of thing, just like, ugh.
Typical politician.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, as I just kind of feeds it, she's like, oh yes, it's a lovely place and some beautiful artwork done to commemorate your fine town. All of that shite, she just feeds into it.
Oh yeah, like you need an insight check to know that he's kind of just like, rehearsing this same old shit, different day.
Yeah,
You guys are brought into this really nice, wide open office, very airy, spacious. There's nice bookcases. There's like decrees, laws, like almost framed. Like, when I, campaigned against all those drugs back in 1982, all that kind of, marks in his gear. And a large, wide open window faces towards the ocean, and it's kind of like pretty high up, so you can even see it, like the tip of the albatross and stuff from here. Very nice. Wide, rich mahogany tables. Really like exaggerated leather desks, and the dude the dude has a literal bust of marble of himself in his office on his table. Right back at him. It's elaborate paperweight you ever did. There's 2 massive, large leather seats that he gestures for you to sit down in, facing his desk. And the one thing that's probably caught your eye the most, sitting behind his table, is this extravagant, flamboyant, gargantuan jade stone.
Oh, God, Christ.
the minute Esme sees it, she just immediately says, "Oh my God, it's here!"
I'm sorry, I don't follow.
That stone. We're here for that stone.
Where'd you get the?
He turned like he's like the large one.
No,
Yes.
the little one.
It's the large jade one. I believe it's called the Eye of the Dragon or something similar to that.
Oh, that's been in my family. My family originated from the mining city towards
great.
Dag.
Hold on. Sorry, Your Honor, or whatever. You're gonna tell us all this, and I know it's I. So we're here to just negotiate. How do we get that out of here and up the hill as quick as possible?
Miss Nilo, was it?
You know my name.
I'm afraid, Miss Nilo, I don't appreciate your tone. This is a civil space. I don't know what you're. This.
She laughs at it.
This stone is this is a family heirloom. It's
Okay,
one of
look, you're telling. You're saying this is a civil space, but you're lying to my face.
That's what I was gonna say. Civil space, be respectful. We're telling you the truth. You just give us the truth back. Come on, please.
I honestly do not follow. Like, what? You
Oh.
just want to take this massive stone and what?
We're gonna take the
Hold
stone.
on, hold
We're
on,
gonna
Oh my
roll it up the
god,
mountain.
explain yourselves.
hold on, Esme. Okay, hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
You're robbing me. Is this what this is? Is this robbery?
Oh no, we're saving a town full of lives.
Sir, if you will, do you know what a zone of truth is?
I am not familiar. I'm assuming it's some sort of magical incantation.
Yeah, so I'm a paladin, and I can
My condolences.
Hey.
I'm going to ignore that comment.
That was 100% Darren taking digs at Paladins. Don't
Yeah,
mind. No, I love Paladins. Go ahead. Guys,
I can get some here.
Yeah.
Where we tell the truth, basically. And if you lie, know that you lie, or if Esme lies, I know that she's lying. Or if I lie, obviously I'm lying about something. And I can cast it and we can get this all out of the way pretty quickly. If you would like to go that way.
if it would clear this charade up.
I suppose it would. Just give me a moment.
Yeah, that's good.
I cast Zone of Truth. It's 15-foot radius. I cast it around the three of us.
All right, cool.
And if he wants to resist, he needs to make a saving throw.
All right.
Whether succeed fails. But as I'm casting, I'm like, please just submit if you resist this.
2 seconds, buddy. But I'm triple checking this. Speaking of me slagging Paladin, have you guys ever read the Weapons of the Ancients? Fucking hell!
No.
Those dudes just like at level like a 7, I think. Just everyone 15 foot from them, including themselves, just have resistance. Period to all magic spells effects. Like if you get hit by a spell, you just half the damage.
Is that
That's pretty cool. Paladin.
what I'm doing?
The one you're playing, Aidan, yeah.
Aaron, yeah.
Yeah, it's the ancient one. You're a paladin, Amy?
In Primal Power.
Poppy the one-handed halfling.
Oh yeah, shit. Sorry, I apologize. I was like, what? Yeah, no, that's rock and roll. It's so cool, and they can't age, which is neat.
Yeah, like druids.
And it's a charisma saving throw. You see. Ooh, what's your spell save, bud? This chapter's 19.
Yeah, he succeeded.
Okay,
But
and
you know.
but you know.
I know. Right. Come on now, you're not playing fair.
As he turns her head and puts on a worried face and is like, "Why, Risbeth, whatever do you mean?"
He's not gonna tell us the truth. He's lying this whole time.
No,
That's the
okay,
automatic
hold on.
default I'm
Risbeth,
gonna go to.
perhaps we are in the wrong. Tell us, explain to us where this jade ball has come from.
It's a family heirloom. My family were miners and gemstone workers. It's been a sign of good luck and passed down generations. I got it when I became mayor many years ago. This is rather unorthodox, and I prefer if you left.
Okay, well, hold on. Okay, this is fine. We're gonna sort this out. And the jade, like, is it an orb or is it a big hunk of rock?
It's a big eye. It's like a eclipse.
It's a sphere.
Yeah, it's like a giant rock. It's
It's
like-
essentially the question is it smooth or is it
no.
Not
Oh
smooth.
no, it's 100%. It's shading is very rough cut, but it's 100% the rock because it's got like the same markings as the other.
Yeah, it
But
looks
it's very
the
much
same
like
as the
it's-
other one.
Yeah, it's not 100% smooth. It's very much like choppy around. It's like very lots of planes.
Esme basically just steps forward and she says, "I would like to check something. And if you allow me to check that this is in fact real and here, then I will directly move away from this orb and you have no reason to fear that I would go any further."
So be it, Miss Nilo. And he steps
And
back
like-
and off to the side and gestures for you to step forward.
She touches it. Is it real?
It is real. You hear the doors to his office close and lock.
Esme turns to him and says, "Why, Mayor, you've made this so easy. I was going to turn and threaten you and say the following, that I could kill you and make it look like an accident. Now, I think I'm just going to kill you."
Miss Nilo, I should be thanking you bringing such a ripe feast to my door.
Are you talking about Risbit? Man might be a treat, but he is my treat, so you back off.
Hold
I
on,
don't
guys.
know
I'm
what
gonna need some saves.
Alright!
Oh,
You.
oh, sweet. Oh, this is actually just aimed at Esme, technically. Esme, intelligence save.
Oh, hold on.
He's some sort of vampire or some shit.
No.
Oh, mind flayer!
It's
Oh,
something
shit!
worse.
Oh, mind flayer! Oh, ah!
Guess who is trained in these saves? Me.
Oh, my friend, I know. Cool. You take 11 psychic damage and are not stunned as the guise of the mayor drops and a tall, purple, mucusy, slimy skinned, tentacle faced looking motherfucker
Yay!
stares you back. And he's just like, well, this isn't part of the grand plan, but I do like a good distraction. Roll initiative.
Before
This
we roll
escalated
initiative, can
so
Esme?
quickly.
Before we roll initiative, can Esme have sent a message to Risbit through her brain?
It will allow. It's like a case of like it can't be like Risbit. Not up to date, and I have the toe.
No. It's a simple. Well, hold on.
You're not alerting us to the fact that you're in the mayor's office now?
Where is the jade orb in relation to the window?
It is about like maybe 20 feet from the window, like quite literally from the plane of glass to the token in brackets, in air quotes, about 20 feet ish.
Yep. And how tall is the building? You said it's pretty tall.
Yeah, it's like 2 stories maybe. You guys kind of like, as much as I said hallway, you probably would have went up a few flights of stairs. This individual's office is like higher. It's up. You can see over the buildings.
Yeah, Esme just sends a really quick message in the ring, and she just says, "Hey, Rizba, push the ball out the window."
Hold on, guys. Right, let me just open this text file.
I can't even respond. My first thing's gonna be before or after we kill this fucker.
I got a 1! Esme, why?
I cannot believe
Tables have
how, like,
turned, Esme.
how from, like, 0 to 100 this went so quickly.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. I believe you're out. You're out. Fucking Dagman, boy.
Oh god, if someone gets feeble-minded, we're so fucked. No one has greater restoration, do they?
We have literal 3 cleric friends.
Yeah, we know Claire.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Or, Ez will die and then I get to play someone else, and that's fun.
Starting us off on lovely adventure is Rizbit.
I'm so
Mavor!
Maybe.
Mavor!
He's the Mavor.
I'm assuming the thing in the purple is table.
Correctamundo, friendo.
Okay. I can only get so far. So as I'm walking, I'm gonna say into the ring, like, Mind Flayer alert, bear place, Mind Flayer alert.
Yeah, rock.
I think I get to there, and I'm gonna throw my hand axe at him. Give me a second.
Yeah, 1 sec. Yeah, or I mean, like, yes, by all means.
Actually, hold on. I just want to read something. Okay, I'm gonna throw my hand axe at him and then cast Hunter's on him.
Alright, cool. Wait, don't you need to cast Hunter's Mark first, then throw it?
Well, yeah, either way, but I'm assuming 10 misses.
Yeah, no, fair.
I'm done.
Rock and roll. It is this individual's go.
Oh god, oh
Hey.
god, oh god, oh god.
Hey, go away! Hey, Garrett.
Yo.
Esme says the Blue Lantern oath. Can the shard mines come back? Like, if I spend it saying the Blue Lantern oath, can they come?
You can use it as your reaction as this thing's tentacles slimily, gingerly wrap around Esme's neck and start wrapping around, like, the top of her head. Esme, you take a total of 15 psychic damage. May you make... Oh, sorry, and you're indeed grappled. Ow, that hurt my hand. You can succeed... an int save, please, my friend.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
Don't worry, I won't kill Esme.
Don't
Esme,
mind,
you're stunned.
don't mind players have like an insta-kill?
Is it? I think if they get you down to 0?
I think it's if they, it's some, I thought it was an, oh okay, cool, okay.
Is it?
I thought it was like a thing where if they had you grappled, they could do a move and it was like an insta-kill.
Nah, they have to grapple you. You have to be grappled for a round. It's like a lot of skills.
Yeah, no, this is why I fucking hate them.
I hate my players.
Esme, you're up, buddy. I mean, you're stunned, so you're no longer stunned. It was a round of being stunned. Congratulations. And with that, we're back to Rizbit.
I can get to him this time.
You
Yeah.
can indeed.
Rip his face off.
Please one-shot this fucking thing.
Please rip his face off.
So I'm gonna my vow of enmity thing. So he's my
Yeah.
advantage on him,
Rock and roll, friend. That is correct.
and I'm gonna try and hit us.
Yeah, cool. Give me them rolls, buddy.
23.
Yeah, both hit. Ooh, dodging that nat one. Nice.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, they both-
And then I cast 2 level 3 smites.
Rock and roll.
Rip his face off.
Sorry, that's a dice.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Wear him as a hat.
58 damage.
Nice. Yeah, this thing is bleeding all over them with such monumental blow and 2 strikes. Its tentacles reel back from Esme as it shrieks in pain. Esme, you're no longer grappled. It turns to face Risbit.
There.
Sorry, Ian, I apologize. Is that all you go?
There's everything I can do.
It's a 22, buddy.
It does.
You take 15 psychic damage. You are grappled. May I have an int save? Yeah, intelligence. Risbit, you are indeed stunned as these like psychic tentacles wrap around your little noodle. You know, one goes down through like the Minotaur skull's eye and like kind of like pokes at Risbit's nostril. Esme, you're up.
Esme's gonna attack. I get sneak attack, yeah, because my Risbit.
Yeah. In 5 feet, you do, friend.
First attack, attempt anyway.
Strikes.
Good. She's gonna try her second. Good.
Yes, indeed.
So what I kind of imagine Esme does is it's like the rod is inactive, and then she activates it. Like she chooses its first form essentially for the combat.
Yeah.
It's the sword, and she just places the rod up against its back and turns it into the sword to like shoom right through.
Yeah, no, that's rock and roll. I'm digging it.
34.
How does Esme bring the mind flayer?
Oh God!
She's cutting the mind flayer's head right off.
Yeah, she like with a flourish, a spin, a slice, as this kind of thick, mucusy, almost pus-like blood spray across the wall. As the body slopes down and it's still kind of like half hanging on to like Risbit's face, like pus almost. Like some of the tentacles are still kind of holding on and pulling at his face, skin, and it's kind of the weight takes and it just plops down onto the ground, dead.
And turns to Risbit and he says, "Risbit, are you okay?"
I'm still. I'm there.
Yes, it's 100. Like Risbit's like staring at stars, kind of like stunned eyes.
And the head is definitely 100% off the body, correct?
Correct. It has been decapitated.
Esme will take the key from his pocket, open the door, and he'll go and fetch the assistant. And she'll just run down and she'll say, Good Lord, the mayor, he seems to have taken ill. Quick, hurry, I need your help.
Basically, for Esme to be like, Risbit, and like there's no answers, like, right, he's obviously stunned. Key from the pots, open the door, and like as Esme a couple of like strides hallway, like you're like, comes back here, like you're kind of like, you're back at it, Risbit.
Oh, right. I'm back.
Yeah, no, you're no longer stunned. The stun kind of like is more just like an after effect of the tentacles lapping at your face.
I'm just gonna poke the body. Search your
What the body?
Ribbit, you don't
kink
see
shame
it because of your eye, but can I have a standard perception check in terms of listening?
Okay, hold on.
Esme's secretary's desk is empty.
Esme heads back upstairs. She's got to go and find that mirror to like pocket it.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so Esme kind of like motherfucker, turns on her heels and starts jogging back. Rizza's puppet like or body. Rizbit, you hear a smashing noise from the Fwin Yoga. Yep.
I look out the window.
As you like approach the window, you see there is a small blood, pus-like trail of mucus where the head once lay, and around where the window is.
I look out the window again. Is anything moving?
You can see a orb with tentacles, and it's to have newly sprouted little feet skittering across the rooftops.
All in sequence. I jump out the window and I yell under the ring. It's still alive. It's moving across the city.
Can I
And I start
ask?
relaying my location to people.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I was about to ask for detailed description of where you were.
Like, I was gonna ask, like, say when we got Risbet's initial message, we were literally just walking out.
Oh yeah,
the
like
shop.
running to.
Oh yeah. It's a case. Risbet, you say you go out the window. Are you like Batman jumping the window?
Full on like Superman jumping out the window.
Yeah. Cool. Can I have your choice, athletics or acrobatics, to essentially land neatly on the roof? Isadora, Coda, you guys now know exactly where it is. It's essentially going to be like you guys are on your way there, so you don't get to declare anything, snazzy this round. But Esme, you would have heard the commotion of smashing windows as you're like running up the stairs, and also you would have heard the thing in the ring.
Esme gets back up, and she sees Risbet like taking his running jump, going after the creature. How tall is the mountain in comparison to to the building in comparison to, say, a giant?
I'd say if you jumped out the window of the mayor's office, you'd probably like fall a split second and then slap into a giant head.
Cool. Esme says into the ring, "Hey guys, this looks like it's about to get worse before it gets better. Can someone get in contact with Blurgan and just tell her to come into the town to take this orb off our fucking hands? Because I think we're going to go to jail for treason, and I'd sooner cause a huge distraction with a giant."
Would that not be seen as
Also-
a provocation of war? Giants entering the town?
No, why would that be a more giant problem? That is, we're taking the orb and leaving problem. All of these people are drugged off their faces. Also, Darren, I'd like to look around for the mirror.
Give me a perception to kind of like either glance in the rooms to have a look around, or an investigation to like properly go room to room. Your choice. Risbet, you successfully Batman land on one of the roofs and take off after this thing. Isadora, Coda, what would you like to do? Essentially, it's very much a telltale piece of. There's an alleyway to your right and an alleyway to your left. The left takes you would lead you quick to Blurgan and Vigilance. There we go. Or the right would take you towards Risbet.
Go one-on-one, I reckon.
I think one-on-one. What do you think, Amy?
Go help Risbet, and she runs to the left.
Yeah, he'll run towards Risbet.
Rock and roll. Neato. Investigation. Esme, you essentially you spend most of your time doing this because there's quite a lot of quite a lot of rooms in this building. But eventually, it's a case of this will essentially happen just at the end of hopefully what the others do. You find a full body, heavy, dense, silver trimmed, what looks like a mirror. It's underneath a cloth, but it's certainly like the most mirror shaped thing under a cloth you've seen in this building.
She pulls the cloth off.
Yeah, it's 100% a tall, full-body mirror kind of thing. 100, very flammable and very lovely. It's got a nice, almost faint glow to the trimming. But yes, Risbet, you see this thing skittering away. Coda, you essentially arrive, turn the corner, and you can see Risbet, smashed through the window and landing on a roof, and there's kind of this weird shape running along the side of the building that he seems to be directly facing.
Can I grappling hook up onto the roof?
You may indeed, that would require a dex, a ranged weapon attack, just to accurately hook it on.
I say into the ring as well. Esme, grab my hand axe. I left it behind.
Esme, be my caddy.
22 hits, Coda. You can use your grappling hook to essentially zip up onto the roof.
I do the thing.
Cool. As you're essentially zipping up and landing beside Risbet, what do you do? This thing is kind of like maybe like 20 feet ahead of you.
I'm running up towards it. I just want to see if I have any range magic spells.
Yeah, sure.
Do you
One
still
second.
have a Misty Step?
See, if it's 20 feet away, I can basically catch up with it. And then
Oh yeah, you
connect
got
it and swing
25.
it.
Yeah.
Darren?
Yes.
It's 20 feet away, you said, yeah?
Yeah, indeed.
I have 2 questions.
Okay. Shoot.
Seeing this thing is still Mind Flayer, does my Hunter's Mark work still? And does my Enmity still work?
I mean, technically, yes.
Cool. Could I move up to 20 feet and take 2 swings at it?
Yeah, no, you would close your distance kind of thing. Yeah, no, by
Yeah.
all means.
Cool. I close distance and take 2 swings at it.
All right, cool. Give me those rolls. Oh yeah, shit,
Nice.
dude. 27 and 29, fucking hit.
I need like a champion thing. I roll a lot of 19s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to save my spell slots. Actually, I'm going to use my level 1 spell slots.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I've missed... Oh, that's level 2. I'm going to use 2 level 1 spell slots for Smite.
All right, rock and roll. Essentially, while Risbet is bringing his maul down, Code, is there anything you wish to do?
I mean, I'll take a shot at it if Risbet doesn't smash it with his maul. But
Okay, yeah.
right now
no,
I'm on
hold
standby.
Yeah, like
I'm
Coda,
just here
like,
for moral support right now.
That's fair. Coda zip lines up onto the building and lands, and Risbet's just like, dum 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 dum, and like leaps up and like, boom, and it's kind of like he connects to it's kind of like new, like it's octopus also new grown out weird little spindly spider legs, and kind of hits one of it, so it kind of like crushes it at the top of the roof, and it kind of like is pinned there, scraping to get away, and like Risbet brings this other one and just completely like squashes it. Just whatever bit of brain matter that wasn't exposed just squirts out in all directions.
Is it dead?
Oh, it's 100% like squashed.
Risbet
Like-
just like collapses onto the roof and says, "Good job."
Isadora, you like sprint with all your might. You round the corner and you sprint off into the bushes, kind of thing. The guards like, "Oh God, there she goes." Okay,
Okay.
okay, now be careful. But you run and you can see, like in the distance, like you can essentially see Vigilance in kind of like a bit of a clearing. You can spot her quite far away.
I'll run up to her, and if I run up to her, can I see Brian?
Yeah, Blurgan's kind of a couple of paces back, kind of crouched down, sitting, kind of keeping her head down behind a tree line, sort of thing.
Okay, and she pauses to catch her breath. Okay, we know where the eye is. Things just got 10 times more dangerous. Vigilance, the mayor was a mind flayer.
Vigilance turns like, what?
Yeah, I know! It's wild. Anyway, Birgit, we need to get you into town. We need to give you the eye. And you need to get it back to the king. I'm really sorry. I really wish we delivered ourselves. We shouldn't be delivering ourselves, but we have to sort this before it gets out of hand, because it could do so much more damage.
She nods and she's like, okay, that's fair. And she stands up and just starts walking into the city.
Just before you do,
Yeah.
to make things a little bit easier on ourselves, don't want to cause any sort of panic. She pats Bergen on the what part of her she can reach, and she casts invisibility.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Follow me and watch your feet. Let's go. And she starts running again.
Yeah. Izzy runs. Bergen simply walks gingerly. She clears quite a lot of distance. Esme, before you was a very tall mirror. What would you like to do with it? Looks sturdy.
She can she figure out in any capacity how to activate it?
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
24.
Esme kind of like runs her hand along the edges and finds a small, very tiny, like kind of almost sapphire blue little button. And when she presses it, a kind of ghastly face appears. It's like, what would you like to look like today, darling?
Oh my god, you're amazing.
It's like, I know, I tell myself that quite regularly.
Hey, is there a way to make you more movable?
I said, oh, yeah, actually, yeah. You could rent a cart and put me on it.
There is that. You are 100. But we need to get you like out of here and down below.
Oh,
Like to the ground.
below.
Like, is it possible that you come in a compact size?
I'm afraid not, darling. You'll just have to put those guns to use. She winks towards Esme's arms.
Esme sighs. She says, "Okay, well, anyway. I'm trying to think of what she would want to dress. She basically just says, put me in a really big poofy dress.
Esme,
good hair, good makeup. You know what I want. I want ball gown, best look possible.
Oh yeah, she's like, let's do this thing, darling. And with a flick of her wrist and her wand, and it appears before her, and she's like, boop. Esme gets put into the most extravagant ball gown. This thing comes out all the way, really wide, really deep blue, kind of velvety, and lace and layers upon layers of stitchwork. It's truly tailored to the of the gods. Esme's hair is kind of poofed up into that beehive kind of really big up and got really gelled curls coming down by her ears kind of thing. And she's even got the fake mole kind of near the eye sort of thing, and really nice winged eyeliner, nice poofy lips, the whole shebang. She looks 10 out of 10.
The question is, do I still have 17 AC?
100% yes.
Oh, great. It's like, okay, so at some point we need to secure you from here, but I am not capable of doing that alone. So I'll see you soon. Do you have a name, Mirror Witch?
Miriam.
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 I'm Esme. I look forward to seeing you again soon.
She winks and disappears.
Esme says into the ring, it's like, so yeah, it's inexplicably difficult to move that mirror. Also, I want it. And she goes back towards the ball. And she's like, what's everyone doing? Where's everyone at?
Isadora says, that's cool. I'm leading a giant through a town, so...
Risbit crushed the mind player's head.
What's left of the corpse? Put it in the
We have some
little
goo.
talking dog box.
Yeah, we
There
collected the
could
group
be a
and stuff,
nest
and we're bringing it
nearby.
back
We
to
have
that
to move
place.
quickly.
Yeah, just guys, get back here as fast as you can.
Yep.
Because I'm
You
gonna need
can't
help
catch
probably
me.
moving this.
I'm the gingerbread man. Right, so Coda and Risbit, you guys find yourselves on a rooftop. How do you want to go about this?
How
we
far
need to
off
go-
the ground?
Straight up 2 stories up kind of thing.
Hold on, Coda. You can probably grapple straight back into the place with your grappling gun and look after the gem.
No, he's weak. He can't push things.
No, you can just look after the gem.
I could try and push. I could stand guard.
Darren, did I just jump straight across? Or was it
It's a case of you went out, down. You kind of leaped out on kind of a trajectory and slammed down. Essentially, when you rolled, it was to make sure you didn't lose your footing and roll off the side of the building.
Yeah, that's cool. So, I think Coda should get the what? I
You can levitate.
I
Esme
can
gave you a
levitate?
thing. She gave you a magic item.
Yes, Esme gave you pretty swanky boots.
Your
You-
boots of
yeah.
levitation.
They are, essentially not going to like they fit your like shtick of like kind of plate-like boots, but the very bottoms of them are red and glittery, and if you click your heels together, you can levitate.
Okay. So I'm gonna say to Cody, use your grappling gun to get into the mayor's building through the window I jumped out of, and I'm gonna levitate in through that window.
Okay, I'll go first so I don't accidentally shoot you in the back.
That.
Okay, yes.
Range thingy, Coda. And Rizba, can I have a athletics check, because levitate doesn't necessarily allow you to fly; it would allow you to go forward. And I think you can kind of go up. You can elevate yourself a smidge, but you can't like outright fly or anything. So it would get you over, so you could like climb up using athletics.
That's cool.
Oh yeah! Oh shit! Yeah, sorry, I didn't have seal rolls. Yeah, both you guys are fine. You guys take the respective amount of time to do that.
Yeah, so now we're back in the room with the gem.
Yeah, 100%. You guys reconvene there. I'm assuming you see Esme in her flamboyant ball gown.
In all her finery.
I'm
and all her
going to ignore it.
Did you have time to have a costume change? Never mind.
Esme just roars at Code. It's like, it's nice to look nice!
Doesn't matter.
The gem towards the window.
Yeah, cool. Can I have a strength check in just to do that?
Can I help him? Can I
You
give
may
him?
indeed.
Can I
Yeah.
get like?
Can I try?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and get this one.
I mean,
Darren, if I
roll-
used my crowbar, could I have advantage?
you would have advantage on like jimmying it over into the Esme and Rizbeth's hands. Yeah.
I'm just gonna try because I want to have advantage on a thing.
I want to help.
I got a 14.
Yeah. No. Coda kind of jimmies it out, and Esme and Rizbeth kind of like catch it and start carrying it over to the window. And Izzy, are you bringing Blurgan over to the window, or are you kind of running it through the building?
No, she'll Risbeth told them that the head jumped out the window, so she's going to look for this broken window because she knows that's the right.
I assume as we're kind of levering this out the window, we're kind of saying to Isidore what we're doing and telling her like where we are and stuff.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, 100%. Isadora arrives with a apparently invisible giant. Izzy, you would know that that invisibility spell is going to drop pretty quick.
It lasts an hour.
Oh, does it last an hour? I thought it was like 10 minutes.
Nope.
Oh, cool. Rock and roll. Never mind.
Nice.
Scrap that. Yeah, you appear with your invisible friend.
I assume the others are like bringing it to the window. So she's going to say to Blurgan, grab that, get it back as fast as you can. Please send the king our apologies that we couldn't deliver it personally. But this town is in a lot more danger than we thought, and we want to keep it safe so it's no longer a problem for them.
You guys essentially hear the disembodied voice of Blurgan, like, okay, yeah, no, I will do that. And you essentially see the window pane just like smashes. It starts to crack and like just a non-existent hand picks this up, and you can see glass like lying on it. And as it rises slowly out, it disappears through like you see like kind of like a slit open up, an invisible bag.
Yeah, actually, the second she touches it, it goes invisible.
All right, cool. Yeah, then that's cool. It disappears, and you see glass sitting on top of this invisible hand, and when it comes back out, the glass falls down. Some of it lands near Izzy, not like gonna hurt her or anything. And she's like, "Okay, I'll do that. You guys should come. I'll try return to where I was beforehand as quick as possible. We should talk." And you like hear essentially the thumps as
Thank you.
she navigates the streets. And like as she's doing it, she's kind of going a bit quicker, and you can hear people be like, "Earthquake! It's an earthquake!"
Well, whatever. Is there gonna look up to the window and says, "That escalated quickly,"
Very quickly.
and then she's actually going to run around to the front door to come up the stairs to them.
Yeah, essentially, as Izzy rounds the corner, you see Vigilance rounding the other corner, like running up the stairs together, sort of thing, and like you all kind of reconvene in the mayor's office.
Esme asks very quickly, is like, Coda, why do you want that mirror? And I assume she gets the lowdown.
Yeah,
Oh,
told her.
good. It's in there.
I mean, we were going to use it to get information on that, but I mean, we might as well.
No harm. I mean, we're not stealing. The bear is very, very
Can't
dead.
steal from a dead man.
And an evil mind
I
monster.
wouldn't planning to fence it off. Those guys plan to fence it off.
I did to a client.
Yeah, they have
I
a buyer
believe.
for it.
I wouldn't 100% be averse to giving them that if we can. It's just hard to move.
Darren, actually, would I be able to, like, I'm imagining, like, the way a bird throws its head back and just swallows something. Would Henry be able to eat this mirror?
No.
No. Shame.
Too big.
It's just too weird in size. It's the actual mirror itself, but if you removed its legs, yes. But
Yeah, like, you know when you see, like, a clown taking a ladder out of a small bag? I'm imagining that kind of situation where I'm just, like, feeding it in vertically, kind of just into this chest mouth.
I mean, again, yes, it would fit if you remove the legs.
Is that a breaking action or just like a oh, I can screw them back on later situation?
It's a magical item to what you know. It probably would be breaking it in some way.
We can ask the woman in the mirror, but
Yeah.
also, do we want to just make sure that we have everything we need out of here? Oh, by the way, there was someone at the door earlier, like a secretary, and they have not appeared. So they're
Another mind flame.
probably gone to warn the other mind flayers.
Can we like search the mayor's office for sort of information?
Perception, kind of glance around to see if there's anything jutting out or like, levers or anything like that. Investigation to kind of go through like documents.
That's perception.
I'm gonna go investigation to see if there's any interesting documents.
Mine was perception as well for any like trapdoors or levers or anything.
Yeah. Izzy, you know, Izzy and Coda, you guys noticed there's a lot of dust around this place on closer inspection. A lot of the bookcases haven't been used. And it's not that it's like a thick layer, it's just enough dust when you look to be like, yeah, he clearly didn't use a lot of this office, probably. Now you know why.
I'm starting to wonder if, like, it wasn't necessarily he was always the mayor, rather the mayor might have been. Maybe.
Say that against her name. You could offer me a little bit through that.
She's just hypothesizing it out. Like maybe there was actually an original mayor that he replaced.
Oh yes, I get you.
Yeah.
The documents that Esme is looking for, correct? Esme is investigating. Yeah, a lot of the documents date back to like when he claims to, when a couple of years ago when he claims to have like, oh, I became mayor, and it's very much like Mayor Dillon donates to the fishing company and helps restore some of the shrine, and like clearly he's been present in the community for quite some time. Even before that, there's kind of like the old documents of before he hit mayor, kind of like spokesperson helping this and running and campaigning, and like there's an old campaign flyer like vote Talon, that sort of thing, all that jazz. Like he's clearly been around for some time, and there's no clear indication of when, if like he was taken over, as you say, or replaced, as you say. There's no clear cutoff point. The only thing that might indicate that is a like manifesto of like increasing amounts of food being needed for the populace. Esme, you eventually find a kind of like a red ledger. You got quite a nice roll. So in one of his drawers, there's kind of like a fake bottom. Like Esme's kind of placing her hands because like she'd be kind of like being a roguish type. You kind of know these things exist. So you're kind of like putting your like pressing your hand on various bits to kind of see if it can budge. You find a red ledger, and it's about like maybe a year ago max, like probably a year, give or take. That's when the dates start going in. It's like, oh, we need to bring kind of roughly around just before, like maybe 2 months before the giant thing kind of officially happened. This individual was like, we got to bring in carts of, like we got to feed this amount, bringing in like, 6 carts carrying this, 6 carts carrying that, 2 carts carrying this. That's kind of when the manifesto's coming in. It's like, oh, we need a lot more food kind of thing, and that sort of jazz. But there doesn't need to be outright like, our evil hideout lies 6 steps to the left, that sort of thing, or anything like that. It's all very, like, for the most part, it's very smart. Like they've clearly covered their tracks, that sort of thing.
Yeah, communicates that back.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, no, it seems to be a very tight operation that's being run here. There's no slip ups, it seems.
Does someone want to take a full and proper look at that body? I'm going to go back to the mirror and ask how much damage we can do to her before she is unusable.
I'll go look at the body.
Yeah, I'll look it over.
Yeah, cool. Investigation, friends, or perception, your choice.
Brisbane's just gonna come.
Yes.
That's perception.
Ugh, that's nothing.
Cool. What was that you were saying, Elizabeth? Sorry.
He's just more or less gonna stand guard.
Yeah, that's right. You're checking out the doorways. Isadora, nothing kind of leaps out at you when you're putting your hand in the pockets. There's a lot of mucus in the pockets. It's nice.
Is the robe like what color is the robe it's wearing?
Kind of a dark bluish black,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the body looks, there's no kind of discoloration or pale. It looks rather relatively healthy for something that's been just recently decapitated. Around its hands, it's kind of got a discoloration, but like you can't figure out why. It's just there seems to be a bit of a discoloration around its like hand. Hi, Mirror. The Miriam reappears and she's like, "Oh, I'm all packaged up. You don't like the whole me, then you can just toddle."
No, I do. I just need to move you, and I don't. It's hard to move you.
Then pick me up with your those big strong hands.
Ismay's going to attempt to lift the mirror.
Strength check, bud.
I mean, the mayor's out of character. The mayor says it's very close to the albatross. We could fire it into our room and just like leave it there so we go find mind players.
Well, in all fairness, like Oswald's oddity is close. to
Yeah,
the
it's also
albatross.
close. That's true.
I'm not sold immediately that we need to give it to them.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking. We keep it in the
if
albatross
you
for
don't
now.
want to sell it, that's fine. If you don't want to sell
No.
it, fine.
It's not even that. I actually want to go and ask them a few questions
That's
before
fair.
we agree to give it to them.
Vigilance is kind of like looking through the doorways, like, what is going on? Why is there no one in this civil building?
That's what I'm thinking. It's been like maybe half an hour at this point, and no one's check. So
As with a lot of huffing and puffing, you still do manage to pick it up. It's very heavy though. As many are like, I can carry this, but probably not across the town by myself.
Esme asks the vigilance for help.
Yeah, the second Vigilance starts helping lifting, it's like, it's grand. Between the two of these, it's fine.
Thanks, Vig. Esme says, "Can we just put this down for a second? I have to do something." And she grabs like a reef of paper, and she just very quickly writes, "The mayor was a mind flayer. Come back later." She's just gonna stick it on the front door when they leave.
Yeah, that's fair. Cool. Are people heading towards the albatross? Or what? Sorry, I apologize.
Is there any way I
that's
could
super
like
just
roll? I said nature or arcana to figure out what this discoloration on the hands is?
Ooh, nature.
That's garbage.
Yeah, you're not entirely sure. Nothing's leaping out at you.
if Code points this to me, I'll try to see if I can. What it is.
Yeah, like he'll point at the discoloration, but he'll say he doesn't know what it is.
You're gonna say it's nature?
Yeah.
18.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's some weird growths or something in the very essentially it's kind of like looks like growths are beginning to happen. It kind of came out of nowhere like a flash, like rash almost, but it seems to have stopped.
Well, because he's dead.
Yeah, you cover up the mirror. Sorry, what was that? Izzy?
I said they aren't growing anymore because he's dead.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. It seems it's weird. Like maybe it's defense mechanism. We were unsure, but yeah, it certainly seemed like it was in the early stage of a weird growth, but it just didn't happen.
She's going to point that out and say, "And that's super gross."
Well, it seems like we've done all we can do.
Yep, we killed the mayor. We placated the giants, hopefully.
Well, Blurgan said we have to go and speak to her outside of town, so we can do that in a while.
Yeah.
Also, we need
Which
to
is a
find
good
out if there's
thing,
more of
because-
these things.
The worst thing that can happen is we can all get in her pocket and go up.
And run away.
Well, not run away, but at least be like, hey, no,
Well, live
we're
with
legit.
Libon.
We also got this for
Fair.
you.
It's about 3 p.m. now, hitting about that 3 p.m. mark.
Esme says, let's go back to the Albatross with this.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys, are you going down Main Street? Or you taking alleyways?
Let's go down the alleyways. Because-
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, 100% in character, Esme puts the sign up that says the mayor was a mind flayer.
Oh yeah.
Back soon. Be back in 5 or whatever.
You guys take your time. It's all good in the hood. You kind of pass over urchins and beggars and such. Not many, 1 or 2, asking for gold and such. Damn, it's a good album.
Oh, and well. Oh, I thought you meant for our benefit.
No, against us.
What can they say they saw?
Just some
What?
freaks with a mirror, big robot, you know.
A beautiful woman in a big dress.
A woman in a ball gown,
With a
a
robot.
goblin, a demon, a regular-looking lady, and a robot. We're just walking down the street with a big mirror.
Walk
If
into a
anyone
town.
comes to the door, Esme's just going to say, I'm sorry, we're from Nullheim. We don't understand your custom.
Speak common.
We come from the big smoke.
You round the corner, you know the Albatross is but a gingerly 40 feet away. You hear a snarling and a barking from behind.
As I says to Vigilance, hey, Vigilance, do you think you could run with this? Alone?
She's like, I maybe I can try. Why? Do you what's happening? I hear barking. What's going on? Or do you have a dog to fight?
I feel like we're going to have to fight a dog, and I'm willing to turn and fight that dog while you protect Miriam, the Mirror Witch, put her in a room in the Albatross, and try not to leave her alone.
From
As
underneath
they-
the heavy shrouded cloth, you just hear, yes, defend me, darling.
She's amazing.
Your new best friend.
As they gingerly puts down her end, is like, okay, bitch, I'll pay you back. I swear. I don't know how, but I will. And she turns to where's the snarl coming from?
At the end of the alleyway is a scruffy, black furred mutt. Its eyes are kind of abnormally shining towards you, as if deer in the headlights kind of look. And it's just barking, snarling, just completely entranced by you guys. It's about 30, 40 away. And it's slowly coming towards you.
Esme says, if that's the shroud, I already said no.
It picks up its ginger jog and goes into a run.
Esme's gonna just try and stab it. She
Yeah,
rolls forward in her dress.
100% the size of a regular old dog, kind of a proper sheepdog kind of size. Roll to attack. Cool. Can I have damage followed by a strength save, please, Neil?
Aw.
Right, so Esme deals a... Why are you doing a 6?
That. Oh, it's a D8.
It's a rapier, my dude.
Yeah, it's so you can just.
Yeah, no.
I've
Yeah,
been
it's
doing
fine.
D6
8
all
damage.
night.
Yeah. Oh, that's... Oh, shit, sorry. I only noticed it now. Apologies. Yeah, you do 8 slashing damage. You drive this blade into it. And as you're doing so, it's like face splits and you see all the tentacles like roll up and it grabs around Esme's hand. Can I have initiative, please?
Esme starts screaming like Caius dogs, guys, and I know it's not the Caius dogs, but she's like, this reminds me of the Caius dogs.
Ooh.
Oh, damn, these initiative dudes. Holy heck.
Oh heck.
I just realized I didn't roll. I was like, no, Neil's right.
This will end after this, guys. Don't worry, I just saw it.
This is real the thing.
Yeah, boy. Who would be Kurt Russell, though? Coda, you're up.
I will not be Kurt Russell.
Oh, shit, I apologize. 1 second.
Oh no.
Mind Bork Popper.
You have to murder the dog.
I feel so bad, but also it's definitely
It's
a
an
mind
evil
player.
dog.
I know, I
It's
hate
got-
killing
But every
dogs.
dog is good, Laura!
Every dog is good, how dare you? Anyway, I'm gonna shoot this evil dog. Oh god, I hate myself. I think I have one grit point left, so I will use the first one to get advantage on my first shot. And no advantage on the second one, which definitely
22
misses.
hits. 2 large cracks ring out.
20
The
damage.
dog's
to the
keening
evil.
whimper. 20 damage. Nice, nice, nice. The dog keens, moans in pain. Isadora, you're up.
I hit it with a Rare Frost, hopefully. God.
Nice, buddy.
It's cantrips. 14 damage.
Oh, nice. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Rock and roll. It is lovely creatures go. Yes, 19 versus your AC, Neil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, these tentacles kind of like wrap up and continue up further up Esme's arm and lap towards her like head, kind of like leaving mucus and almost pus all over her like chin and such. Can I have an int save, please? Also, you take 15 second damage.
Technically, since the dress is an illusion, you're probably not ripping it.
Yeah, that's true. It's glitching through the dress. It's very jaunty. 23. Yeah, Esme, you are not stunned by this awful creature. And with that, we are brought to dearest, precious Risbit.
Okay. Can't get there in one go, but I'll try. And I'm gonna go throw a hand axe at it.
Rock and roll, buddy. Ooh, nice. Yeah, that hits.
Damage.
Ooh, nice. 8. Okay, cool. Is that all you want to do, Ian?
Yep.
Esme, you're up.
I can still stab it, yeah?
Yes, grapple just means you can't move.
Yeah, you know, that's fine. Esme just like starts stabbing into the mind Bork Pupper and just it says bad dog.
Very bad dog.
13 hits, 12 does not.
That's fine. Yeah, she starts stabbing it. Eight.
Cool. Yeah, no, again, this thing whimpers. We're back to Coda.
I have to reload. So 1 reload and 1 shot.
Cool. 18 strikes.
10 damage.
You blow what? You a mad head off as like a large chunk of it just rips apart, and the kind of thick, inky, mucusy, kind of almost pus-like blood that Ismay smeared across the wall, decapitating the mayor previously, like kind of across lower and up Swan Valley walls.
Hooray!
Was disgusting. Are there more?
Yeah, guys, there's definitely more. Like this, there's definitely more weird mind flayers here.
They must
Let's
have
go.
some sort of base of operations.
Yeah, there's gotta be a hive around. I mean, I guess at least we know who's placating people, drugging them, or whatever.
I mean, that's nuts.
Do you think if we follow the food carts, we'll find their source?
If we don't find them, at least we'll be able to cut off their supplies.
Any other ideas?
Go to the Albatross and regroup.
Yeah, let's go have a drink and just relax for 5 minutes.
Cool. Alrighty. You guys, clear off, wipe down your blades, that sort of thing, resheath them, and head towards the Albatross. You assume Vigilance being there as she trotted off with the mighty Miriam. Not to confuse with Miriam the maid. It's spelt kind of like as you'd imagine with the mirror bit. You enter the Albatross. As you approach the door, you hear loud, raucous music, laughter, joy. As you enter, the Albatross is in full swing, full house. Every table has a meal on it. Every chair has a seat in it. There is a band in the corner. It seems to be a collection of gnomes. Totally not playing the Rocky Road to Dublin, just because it's funny. But the place is in full swing. Yeah. Playing god-awful Irish trad of all things. But yet, the Ath and Grey seem to not have left the booth they're in, and the food keeps piling on, and they see it, and it's like, oh my god, come in, eat! And they're kind of just like biting into like apples as like juice goes everywhere, kind of being like really sloppy. It's pretty much just like a giant feast gone weird. And like everyone's like, yeah, no, come in, have some food, come in. Like everyone's beckoning you to come and take a seat and enjoy the foods.
Nice. We can't eat any of the food. But also,
We're going to go powder our noses! And she shows everyone towards the stairs.
Esme thinks people are looking at her in her fabulous dress, and she's pretending like they are, even if they're not. She's just trying to look as beautiful as possible.
That's fair. Is it you've successfully run up the stairs? Coda, Rizbit, any last declaration before we sign up?
Alright, going upstairs.
Yeah, cool. Alright,
Yeah, if Vigilance is gonna up, and the rest of you.
Well, Vigilance is 100% not in the room.
Alright, yeah, okay, we'll go find it. Vigilance. Then.
Oh, okay, sorry. Cool. Yeah, rock and roll. You guys essentially run upstairs as people like keep like leaning towards you guys, offering you apples and oranges and fruits, bountiful fruits, and are all kind of like eating them without much manners, like kind of biting into them and laughing and chewing and speaking through it all. It's like completely packed, 100% like overflowing with people. And yeah, you guys essentially it's probably upstairs, yeah. You guys essentially run upstairs, and everyone, like when you reach the top, kind of opens like you assume to be her bedroom door, and just like and, like gestures for everyone to come in.
Oh my god, hi.
Yeah, you guys essentially go in and like spread out around the room. It's kind of small enough. And there's a bed, there's a floor, there's a small like kind of table with a vanity mirror, so like someone could sit on the chair. You guys essentially spread out, and like Vigilance locks the door behind her, and she's like, "Okay, we have a problem." And the mirror's like, "Of course you do, darling. You're dressing like that."
Oh, Miriam, you card.
I put a sheet over the mirror.
Hey.
You can block me out, but you can't block out that outfit, darling.
His make tackles.
They're getting like why have they suddenly gotten worse? Why are they suddenly so enthusiastic about this?
Which is, I imagine it was because you cut off the head of a mind flayer.
We've got to follow that convoy tonight. We've got to find out where they're going. We've got to shut it down.
She nods and she's like, that could be for the best. I agree. We should, catch a breather. Try to get some sleep. I know it's rather loud. You can kind of hear like the laughing and all downstairs. Like cheap tobacco smoke is coming up through the cracks in the floor, that sort of thing. So if you can get some rest, I'd recommend it. But this room is safe, and I'll stand guard. I'm, not exerted in many ways, so I can, keep a watchful eye on everybody. I will remain vigilant. But yeah, we will. Essentially, you guys have a nice short rest.
Cool.
Okay.
But yeah, we will leave it there. Do people want to roll for health or anything
Yeah,
now?
I'll roll
while
mid
we're
dice.
all here, rock and roll. That way, we can just when we play next week, we can just hit the
So wait,
ground.
is
running.
it you just roll your hit dice and then add your Constitution modifier? Is that per dice or is that?
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Darren.
Neil.
Last question.
Yeah.
Do we know if the convoy goes anywhere near where our friend Blurg is? Blurgan.
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't have the information to confirm or deny it, but you do know it's kind of like a horse-drawn cart kind of system, and off to where Blurg and all is, it's kind of like wilderness, grasslands, rocky hills. That's
Good.
I'm sorry, just say if people are rolling hit dice, I place on rest, you get an extra D8.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh, nice. I'm pretty sure you
that's
guys.
nice.
Nice, excellent. Well done.
Thank you,
I'm
Amy.
pretty sure you guys have a few healing potions. Not that I'm saying use them.
Yeah,
I'm
I know. I
you
gave.
feel like
Yeah,
you need
I
to.
bought 2 more. So I gave. So
Mhm.
Esme, Izzy, and Rizbit all have 1, and I have 2.
Yeah, I'm back up next now anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, me too.
I wasted 4
Alright,
of my hit
cool.
dice though with those 3 2s.
Cool, rock and roll. Oh, damn, nice. Yeah, cool. So that way we all have like our HP, and we'll pick it up next week at essentially like the short rest. We're gonna say, is it a case of you guys wait till like nighttime, kind of like maybe 9 or 10, roughly when you guys know the convoys be trekking out?
Yeah, whenever we know that that's where the things are going.
Yeah, and we'll say like 10 o'clock at night. You kind of know that there'll be a convoy, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Cool, rock and roll, great game, guys. We'll leave it there.
I'm
and
ready
we
for a
can-
mind flayer hunt next week.
Yeah.